All right, y'all. I am live. I am so sorry I'm late. We are live. Rico will be up in a little bit. I can't, just between me and y'all, man, I really can't stand Rico. Rico get on my nerves. That bastard, he talk too much. He think he know everything, and I just have a lot of problems. Oh, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Fuck you, you bald head, stupid motherfucker.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I do know everything, nigga. Chilling. What's going on?
Hey, how you feeling, man?
I'm doing good. Just getting into my medicine.
Okay, cool. Let me send these shout outs real quick, and we're gonna bring out special guest stuff, man. I'm gonna have you to introduce them.
Okay.
Walk on. What's going on, brother? Lord Lee, E3S. What's going on? Shout out to you, Pimp Boy, always in the house. I came here just in time. LOL. What's up, brother? Um, and we got Malcolm 8616. What's going on, brother? So without further ado, brother, go ahead and introduce our special guest, awesome sister we met.
Okay. Well, our special guest is a young lady that me, Coach, and Troy had the special privilege to meet and link up with about maybe a little less than 2 weeks ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago in Santo Domingo. She's I will never disparage her by calling her a passport sis, even though they seem to think that any young lady that travels is a passport sis. I wouldn't call her a passport sis anymore. And I would call myself a coach, a passport bro,
Mm.
because that's not a name that we honor, respect, that we follow. But she is an expat. She's currently residing in. She recently moved to the Dominican Republic from Colombia, where I believe she spent maybe 6 months to a year. She'll be able to fill in the parts that I got wrong, but she's very attractive. She's 33 years of age. That I do know.
Mhm.
She's 33 years of age, so she's not young. She's not old. She's young to me, but she's not a teenager or anything. And she comports and carries herself in a very well mannered way, like we would want all travelers to travel. And she came onto the scene by just reporting on the things that she observed in Colombia. And of course, for some reason, a lot of people who are doing a lot of the foolishness we're going to talk about later didn't like the fact of a woman of color, any woman.
But she's an expat just like everybody else.
Yeah, but they take umbrage to anybody reporting on what they're doing publicly. They
Right.
want to do it publicly, but they don't want nobody to say nothing about them showing their ass in public. But her name is Mariah Sincere. She has a channel. So if you haven't subscribed to it, I
I'm gonna
would
put it up. I
suggest,
got the banner right here.
yeah, I would
Without
suggest and
further
hope
ado,
you do.
let's go ahead and bring her up so we can.
You have to bring her up because you got the control. So
Without further ado, Miss Sincere, how you doing, sister?
Hey y'all, I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. I
did
know we're
I
gonna have a great vibe.
was my introduction fair? Well, I
It was fair. I think you got me right. You got me right.
okay. All right. Fill in whatever I missed, and you introduce yourself a little bit better than what I did.
No, no, you hit it on the head. For those of y'all who kind of want to know a little bit about why even came, that's been such a huge topic of discussion in the travel space. Like, why is she even there? I don't understand why it's so controversial, but it is. So I'll give y'all a little glimpse into my thinking. In 2024, I was a school teacher, right? At the beginning of January 2024, I was a school teacher. Before I was a school teacher, I was a dancer. That's another thing that's controversy. Oh, well, I've done many different jobs. I used to be a CPS, social worker, all of that. Okay, I've had many jobs. But what happened was I just was unhappy in my life. And also, my daughter was falling behind, as many American children are right now. We have a reading crisis. And I was doing the best that I could to try to get her caught up, but it wasn't enough, especially considering that I was working 10-hour days and coming home and tired. And I just knew it was a situation where if I didn't act fast, the situation wasn't gonna turn around. So what I did was I prayed to God and I asked for a change. I was like, God, I want to move somewhere. Now, at first, I thought God was going to tell me another part of my city. You know, worst case scenario, another part of my country. But Medellin, Colombia came in my head. And then after that, it was like Medellin. And I started researching it. And the more I researched it, the more I bought into it. And I actually saw the benefits of going to Medellin. Some people have said.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Were you listening to any type of expat in Colombia?
After I decided on moving to Medellin.
Okay, gotcha.
I found AK Joe's Colombia and I found Medellin Buzz. So Andrew Macias, he's a Colombian that was illegally raised in the United States who got deported and moved back to Colombia. And he had the benefit of being raised with an American business mindset. And so he was able to make himself a lot of money in Colombia and really build from the bottom, you know? So these were the people that I were listening to help prepare me for my move. And one of the benefits, people are like, well, you can homeschool your kid in Colombia. Yeah, but in the United States, yes, but the bills have to get paid. So the benefits of me for moving to Colombia or any Latin American country where the cost of living is lower, you can effectively shorten your workday and have time to homeschool your child and the lights still be on where you're at, you know? So that was my number one priority. And then, of course, the Spanish in Colombia, they have the best Spanish. I wanted to expose my daughter to an environment with that young. And the climate in Medellin, Colombia is awesome. It's spring all year round. And also, I did not want to drive anymore. Living in Texas, we see a lot of accidents. Some of the most terrible accidents you will see in your life are going to be in Texas. And I wanted to be somewhere where they had a really efficient public transportation system or Uber was cheap or I didn't want to own a car. I have not gotten behind the wheels of a car since Christmas 2024 when I went and visited my mom. So I don't like driving. Mm-hmm. Well, so those are all the reasons why I moved in. They're the real reasons.
Gotcha.
Hey, Romeo.
Gotcha.
So let me ask you a question. And we'll button it up after this, because again, like you said, you gave your reasons, your birth into. So was this the first? Colombia was your first time traveling internationally?
No. Oh no. I had been to other places before. Before I moved to Colombia, I had been to Colombia before. I had just went to Cartagena. When I came to Medellin, I had never been to Medellin. But I was just so confident that God was leading me there and the research that I was doing that I hit the ground running when I came.
Okay.
It was not a problem.
So now setting that aside, so you've traveled before internationally, because I don't know why certain people in this space seem to think that like Black women have never traveled internationally. Like all of a sudden y'all just start doing it in 2026. I'm like, they've been doing it forever. But
I always pull the stats up on that.
Right. But with you guys being in the space now, for some reason, it seemed to have set off this firestorm of criticism, because I swear they say y'all following them. I'm like, who the fuck gonna book a trip internationally to follow y'all? I'm following you sitting at home watching you online. I don't have to follow you. You don't shut the fuck up. You tell it all. But explain to us what was the controversy around you? In particular, what was the criticism and controversy that put you on the map in the space to make your name popularized, and how do you feel about that?
Okay, yeah. So let me kind of go back. Now, my situation is different. I'm not the average American woman. I've been on YouTube doing content for a long time. And to be quite honest, not my first time in Latin America, but my first time in Colombia. I actually did go because of the passport bro controversy to see what was going on. So you have to understand, this was during the time that Austin Holloman had started blowing up. And at this time, I was talking about dating and relationships. And the passport bros were blowing up via Austin Holloman for saying the dating and relationships were better and that they were going to these Latin American countries to find wives. And then Austin Holloman blew up on Tanya TKO because he was going through his controversy in Brazil. So I was talking to my audience like, chat, at the time I was teaching, and I knew I wanted to go somewhere for spring break. I had a week off, and I didn't know where I was going to go yet. And I was like, oh, okay, well, let me just go to Colombia. And I go to Colombia, I go to Cartagena, and it was God. I really did not go searching for them. I promise you, I wouldn't have even known where to start. God put me in position on my second night of the trip to meet some passport bros. And I just met them through normal friendly conversation at a coffee shop. And I explained to them why I was there. And then they was talking about their life. And I was like, hold on, y'all are passport bros. And they were like, yes, we are. And those men were so ecstatic to show me their world. And I'm surprised they trusted me because I promised anonymity, but they didn't know if I was going to go put their business on blast. And they actually let me interview them. They showed me, like, they took me to all the places they go and showed me, how they get the girls and things like that. And through that, I came back with, I think, a very balanced, more so than giving them more credit than what you would, Uncle Rico, but a very balanced and fair assessment of what I believed as a woman was going on. And to this day, I have not put any of those men's business out there. Now, when I decided to go to Medellin, it wasn't because I was following the men, because I didn't even live in an area where, honestly and truly, unless I go out of my way to go to an area where the men are coming and doing the weekend warrior thing, which those are very few places in Medellin. I would say over 99% of my days in Colombia, I never even would see these men.
So let me ask you this, and it's on the passport bros. Do you think the passport bros have been tainted, or is it okay to call yourself not you, but just call people call themselves passport bros, or should we just say black expats, or is it damaged the passport bro?
First of all, I don't think the term is going away anytime soon. And I do think that the term is tainted. But also, I don't think that the people who created the term are being honest. Mm-hmm. I don't think that they're being honest. Now, there have been black men and white men. You could take this back to people like say World War II. No, you can really take it back to World War I. You could probably even take it back to the Spanish-American War, to be honest. There have been black men and white men, all races of men who have been military guys, who were going to these places, living, creating families, and they've been very low-key and under the radar. And I think that's something really completely different. I think what it was packaged to in a way to kind of say, nanny boo-boo to American women, and particularly Black American women, is that we're going to be going abroad, leveraging our dollar, which they are leveraging their dollar, and we're going to get married and have wives. But majority of the passport bros, like if you were to put in a poll, right, in these group chats or these WhatsApp, I'm willing to bet my bottom dollar that majority of the men who are consider themselves passport bros are not married. Or if they are married, they might have a wife in the United States, but they're going and cheating in Latin America. So the majority of them are not coming to Latin America to find wives, or when they do, this is another part that they leave out. By the time they found a wife, they've ran through so many women in Latin America that is basically like, okay, now you gotta sit down somewhere, right? I think the anger and frustration that comes to women like me is that now you can't lie anymore, because people can see you can't, like, there's no mystery around it. We see you can't like, oh, okay, we're dating these women because we're looking for wives and they're more submissive and this, that, and the third, because we know what they're really doing. Now, one thing that has been really unfair, one charge that has been leveraged against me that I think has been very unfair, is that they're saying I'm following these men around, exposing them, and they can't name not one person that I have broken a story on or have put on camera.
That's just a cop out. That's just a cop out.
Yeah.
They do that. They do that with me. They do that with Rico. They do it with everybody. That's just But go ahead.
And
I just speak in general.
Yeah,
now,
and that's the issue is I would say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Mariah, but to be crystal clear, and they'll get mad, and I'll make the claim and I stand by it. The overwhelming majority of passport bros are sex tourists, nothing more. They're traveling for cheap sex. Now, are the people that I would classify that go and find genuine relationships and marriages don't view themselves as passport bros?
No,
they just generally don't,
because most are online.
Right, they have a different ideology and a different thought process. But the people who fly that flag, the passport bros, they are almost, I'm going to say it, the high 90% sex tourists. They're literally going to, whether it be the DR, Brazil, Colombia, Thailand, the Philippines, to go and sow their sexual wild oats, have a good time, leverage their dollars, do whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But they're not there for any interest like culture. They're not there to set up any businesses. They're not there looking for real estate. They're not there looking for anything other than a cheap date. And they're not learning the languages. They're not interested in any of that. And to me, there's literally nothing wrong with it. And I'm not telling you to brag about being a sex tourist, because I wouldn't if that's what I was doing. It's for me, the problem is you trying to paint it as something else because they just can't shut the fuck up. It's like, just travel and just shut the fuck up.
Nobody would even be talking about it. Like, nobody would even be saying it. We wouldn't be connecting the dots if they weren't using the same working girls as each other in every video. Like, nobody would even know.
And the problem is
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, Rico. I think most.
I travel POV.
Yeah, I think most of them like never. They get so excited because they never had. They never had something that beautiful before.
I don't think that's it. And because for me, what drew me to the space, particular Mariah, was when I came into the space was I watched these young men use working girls to bash Black women in the States. And for me, I found that to be so unfair. I don't give a damn what your background is, Mariah. I don't care that you was a dancer. I don't care that you a single mom. I don't care about none of that. Mm-hmm. If they're not comparing a dancer and a single mom against you. They're comparing an actual certified, unexcusable working girl. You're comparing a prostitute. So for me, I was like, how are you going to compare a prostitute in another country to a non-prostitute in America? Almost simply because they're Black. Because when I saw the passport bros doing it, I didn't see them comparing it against white women in the States. Yeah. I didn't see them comparing it against Asian women in the States. It was always Black women. And I found it to be offensive having a Black mother, a Black sister, Black daughters. I'm like, why are y'all over there saying that prostitutes, who I know don't love your ass, and they're doing it just for the money, is better? You don't even know these prostitutes.
But they just go.
Well, it's not even just prostitutes. I remember this kind of being a little bit of phenomenon when I was a dancer. So obviously, okay, if you compare your average dancer to the regular women walking around in the United States, no, I wasn't selling cootie cat because I made enough money I didn't have to, and I wasn't greedy. But like, if you go to the strip club and then you go home and you complain to your wife, why doesn't she look like the average dancer? What these men don't understand is like that was my job to go to the gym. Like, it's my job to go to the gym. It's my job to do my makeup. And it's my job to keep my hair in tip-top condition. It's my job to climb this pole and provide you some sort of entertainment. And yes, it's absolutely my job to sit here, listen to you, and stroke your ego so that you can spend your money. Yeah. That's my job. Your wife doesn't have to do that because she has equal partnership with you in the relationship. But also, I don't have anything to do outside. Like, when I'm not on the clock, my job is to prepare to look good, and my job is to develop my social skills. So even just trying to compare the average American dancer to a regular woman is not fair. And had I not been getting paid, you would see a completely different version of me.
Right. And I was going to say, and at the end of the day, you said that perfect, Mariah. The part that's also left out, at the end of the day, you don't give a fuck about them, the client, outside of financial transaction.
She didn't say
You're
it.
Yes, now I'm going to sell it to you, of course.
No,
Of
I'm
course
not talking about selling the physical part, even the time.
Yeah,
Like,
but no, yeah, the time.
I'm not even giving you
I'm
my
gonna sell you the
time.
experience,
Right?
Because why would you like? That's just good customer service.
Right.
If I want you to spend your money, or maybe I want you to come back to this club and ask for me, right? Maybe I can create some type of residual customer attitude. Well, then of course I'm gonna have to provide you with the pleasant experience. That's just the cost of doing business.
Right.
It doesn't mean, but some men will, and I never lied and told a man, "Oh, I want to be with you," or "We're gonna leave here. I'm gonna leave here with you." None of that. But my job was to make them feel good about themselves and find things about them that I could highlight while we were together and spending time at that club. You get what I'm trying to say? So.
So let me ask you this.
Your wife doesn't, she has a choice whether or not to do that, because that's not what her income is based off of.
So let me ask you this. So why do you think they don't? Because that's a very interesting point that you brought up. Because if you sat there and told them a regular woman against a stripper in America, they would see the difference. You know what I'm saying? They would always say, "Oh, no, she's
surprised."
Right, but the way I hear them talk in the space, because the way they sit there and demonize your background, they talk about a dancer as if like she's the worst thing in the world. But I'm like, but this.
They wouldn't speak about me in this way if they felt like they had sexual access to me, and there lies the main problem. Absolutely. So, for example, I don't know if you've been keeping up with DJ Academics, with him and Brittany Renner. She's a social media influencer.
Right.
Yes.
They've had their back and forth, mind you. This past couple weeks, DJ Academics has been dating Daphne Joy. Well, who is Daphne Joy? That's 50 Cent's baby's mama, who also participated in freak offs with 50 Cent and had all kind of nasty things done to her, right? And he's like enamored. He has nothing but positive things to say about Daphne Joy. Meanwhile, he scrutinizes Brittany Renner over her public relationships and her baby daddy and, the men that she's dated. Well, and I would argue that Daphne Joy, it has more bodies than her, has engaged in a lot more filth than Brittany Renner. So what's the problem? Well, Brittany Renner won't give DJ Academics any play.
Right. But my question is this.
Let me say this, Rico. First of all, hey, Easy, we gonna. I see you in there, man. I'm gonna bring you up, but I want Mariah to cook a little bit. And number two is, Rico, I don't understand how every time Mariah says something, you agree with her like she right about everything, but when we say something, you don't fucking agree with it.
Because you stupid.
Well, let me say this. How you doing, John? How you doing, Miss Mariah? How you doing, Rico?
What's up, Easy?
I'm blessed. I'm in the gym, but I'm trying to get it right. No, listen. Rico, you do overgeneralize when it comes to men. I support you. I support you defending and taking up for black women, because I do the same. But let's not overgeneralize. You know what I'm saying? Like I agree with you. I don't like people.
I was just trying to start some shit with Rico.
Go ahead,
no, I feel you.
No, let him go.
But me and Rico do agree. Me and Rico agree 100% on this. As black men who travel, because I'm not a passport bro. I first started traveling in the military. But as black men traveling, you don't have to trash on black women back in the States as your reason for traveling. I will say, relationships here in the States are out of whack. There's a serious problem. There's a serious problem. And I think at some point we're going to have to deal with it and talk about it. People like Kevin Samuels, even some women are calling it out. But hey, that's my opinion.
Okay, you're right.
But I'll also say this: I think, and this goes back to the fact that a lot of people when y'all go abroad, y'all are not actually like entrenched in the cultures of the places that y'all are going to, or may not understand the dynamics. The same complaints that Americans have about dating culture in the United States, they're having these conversations, and they're having these conversations online publicly and other, especially in Latin America. I've heard the
Love
exact
sister.
same complaints that American men make. Colombian people are making content on the same issues in their dating. They talk to me about it.
I
Same
disagree
thing
with
in
you.
the Dominican Republic.
I disagree with you, maybe one or two, but I'll give you an example. The expectations on men in America are ridiculous. And yet, there's something wrong if we have expectation on women when it comes to dating. Um, when you take a woman out for a date and you're spending 150 for a night, what's your expectation of that? And she tells you, I mean, that might be the first date.
So,
She don't want
my
to do
question
coffee.
is then why are so many Dominicans and Colombian content creators making this content in Spanish, and they're writing about these things in articles that their women are gold diggers too, and that they expect too much from men too? This is not my opinion. This is a social media phenomenon, and that's what I say. Y'all have to learn how to speak Spanish and get into the cultures, because they're literally complaining about the same things. And then the women are complaining about worse. With like the way that Dominican women and Colombian women complain about their men is just off the charts. So that's what I'm saying. You can say, "Oh, I disagree with you," but the reality of the matter is, I don't know if you're fluent in Spanish. I don't know if you're deeply entrenched in these cultures enough, but you're seeing it through an American lens, and probably through the lens of primarily speaking English. So you don't know.
Well, let me say this. I've been going to the Dominican Republic since 2018, and I don't stick on resorts. These gentlemen can tell you I don't stay on resorts. I stayed on a resort the first time, and that's because people told me to. Other than that, I'm hanging out with the locals, with the Dominicans, with the expats who live in Dominican Republic. That's how I get down. I take the carrito, I take the guagua. I don't take taxis most times. That's how I operate. So when I say there's a difference between the women in America, the dating culture, not just the women, the dating culture, and the culture or the dating culture in these other countries, there's an expectation. Let me give you an example. Being submissive. You tell a woman in America, you like a feminine woman, a submissive woman, they're offended. That's not offensive to a woman in Dominican Republic.
Let me ask you a
Because
question.
she's not offended because you're coming to her speaking English. I promise you that most Dominican women would not even like that term. And then the cheating that goes on down here, the way that the women down here cheat is absolutely insane. And you're expected as their homegirl or friend to like, and I'm like, bro, a lot of my homegirls in the United States, if they were cheating, they would never talk about it so comfortable, because they know like that's kind of it's more shameful for women to cheat, even though they cheat here way more. And that's what I'm saying. You're talking to these women. Oh, if you talk to a Dominican woman about being submissive and you're speaking to her about this in English, first of all, she's less likely to give you pushback. It's like language matters. Most Dominican women, they're gonna set it off. Like if you're doing something or moving in a way that they don't like, Dominican men would not, the majority of Dominican men would not classify Dominican women as submissive. And the same thing with Colombian men. I love the Colombian guy's channel because he's a Colombian man whose second language is English, and he lives in Cartagena, born and raised in Colombia. And he just laughs when y'all say that these women are submissive, because he understands it's just not true.
And Mariah, let me add this. I was going to say I had read a study a while ago, and they classified Colombia as the most adulterous infidelity country in the world. Like just culturally, everybody
only Mexico.
They cheat the most. And I was
and like wow. here's how like a lot of these women in these other countries are very passive aggressive in how they deal with infidelity or mistreatment. So there are some. Now I have talked to plenty of American men who have told me behind closed doors that Colombian women have laid hands on them. Yes, and Dominican women will lay hands on you, right? But outside of that, we think, oh, the men are like, yep, I get to go down here and cheat on these women and I get to get away with it, whereas an American woman would be masculine and say something to me about it. No, these women are very passive aggressive in how they get their look back. They will literally go sleep with your brother and you'll never know about it. They'll come tell us and we'll sit and laugh. The women will sit and laugh at you.
Just
but
like
like, that's believe she got her lick back. You think these women the Dominican women are just putting up with their man having 2 or 3 other families and they're just sitting at home? Yeah, now they might cook and clean, but guess what? She's fucking your uncle,
your brother, your cousin, your daddy, anybody.
It's
just
crazy.
do.
It's crazy y'all just said that. So there's a story coming out pretty soon. And can you believe this story just happened about a month ago? But the guy is American. He's retired military. He goes back to the United States, and the guy knows the pastor and really cool with the pastor. They sit down, and do you know that the pastor is sleeping with his wife?
It's so common here.
That's no surprise. The school teachers sleep with the students all over. They lock up a school teacher every month for sitting impregnating.
I know that it's crazy
in America.
No, here in the DR.
Yeah,
in the DR. What the hell are you talking about in America? Are you crazy? In the DR, almost every month, some teacher gets locked up for impregnating a student, a young student, and maybe unaliving them. Every month.
Let me ask
you. You don't have to show me that.
Easy.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. But
hold on. Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Answer this question. If you knew the person and he was American and then you was his neighbor or whatever, and y'all was friends, would you tell him that his wife is sleeping with the pastor every time he go back to the United States? Don't everybody be so. Did my phone go dead or is the live stream?
Hey, you asked her the question. I
said easy too.
Oh, well, listen, I wouldn't say shit. I would not say shit.
You wouldn't say.
I might say something to the pastor directly, like, bro, you a pastor. What are you doing?
Okay.
But telling him, I wouldn't do that.
Question again?
Unless it was my family or a good friend.
What's the question again?
If he was your friend and you knew him and he was getting cheated on by the pastor, would you tell him what's going on?
If my friend wife was sleeping with the pastor, would I tell him?
No.
If you had a friend and your friend went back and forth to America to make money, let's say, and his wife, when he was in America, was sleeping with the pastor, would you tell your friend when he came back, yo, listen, bro, let me talk to you?
And he knows the pastor. He kicks it with the pastor all the time.
I wouldn't care. Well, first of all, I'm gonna check the pastor right off the break.
That's what I said.
That's day one. You ain't gonna be no friend of mine fucking my boy's wife. That's just nah. Ain't I'm gonna punch you in the face. You ain't got to worry about my boy. You got to worry about me whooping your ass because you're not gonna do my friends
first. You say something to the guy?
I'm gonna whoop the pastor's ass and tell the guy, and we might whoop his ass together. But you're not gonna do my circle. My circle ain't gonna do dirt on each other. You got a wife, coach. Never.
Right.
Never under my watch. And you might somebody that I don't know might fucking get at her, but not nobody I know. Not nobody that's gonna fuck with me and think they're gonna sit there and mess with your wife, and I'm gonna be cool with it. No.
Go ahead, Mariah.
No.
So I see that someone says they want the same lifestyle they see on social media. Well, I would like.
No, read the comment. I'm sorry. Go ahead, read the comment.
Because that's probably on her channel.
I'm sorry to say, it's not just in Latino. It's here in the USA too. Cheating is everywhere. Everybody's sleeping around.
Yeah, especially now.
But it's
so interesting. It's so interesting when y'all downplay it. And this is, first of all, y'all have to understand, in the United States, we have imported a lot of these cultures. So, for example,
which is why I support mass deportation.
We know.
Hold on, let me finish. So people like to use Florida. Florida is a really big, especially Miami. And talk about how like it's a transactional culture in Florida. who is the majority in Florida though? Like, who is the majority, especially if you're talking about Miami? People love to talk about Miami, and they don't understand how much of those cultures we have imported. And majority of these major cities where cheating is like the worst and the most prevalent, first of all, that does have to do with population size, but a lot of that has to do with who is the majority in these cities, right? So it's like we can call them American cities, but a lot of this culture has been imported, and it's not even comparable. If you just compare your average, the cheating that goes on, like just in your average American society day to day, versus the type of cheating that happens in Latin America, right, and the degree to which they will the way they will like mix in a lot of stuff, how messy it is, it doesn't even come close, right? And you have to understand that in a lot of these places, I'm not going to call out any countries, but in a lot of these places, sleeping with your cousin is normal. And some of these places, these women are so desperate that, you know, they'll sleep with their son if he comes home on a drunken night. Like, this is the type of...
I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that.
Because I don't want to start any controversy. But when you
learn
Spanish, it's more than just about being around the locals. It's being able to communicate with people that don't speak English.
Come on, man.
Being able to talk to people. Yes.
Yeah.
And
fathers have slept with daughters.
I probably know exactly the country.
I'm not saying, listen, I'm not saying that things like that don't happen, but to say it like as though it's commonplace it's more
commonplace. It's not unheard of, and it's not anything taboo that anybody would freak out about. Fathers have slept with daughters routine. I'm not gonna say I don't know at what
you just said routinely. Routinely is a routine.
I can think of a country in particular in Latin America where it's not abnormal for the fathers to sleep with their daughters. It's not even abnormal for these girls to for them to father their yes. And that's what I'm saying. Y'all gotta stop romanticizing and get to. I grew up in Latin culture since I was a child, like since I was little. And when I say grew up in, I mean I'm going over their house. These are my babysitters. These are my first boyfriend was Mexican. I worked in a Latino strip club. I worked in a school that was over 97%.
Where was that at?
What do you mean?
No,
all of this in Dallas. So
it happens in Mexico, like she said.
It's almost majority Latino. So I'm not saying everybody is behaving this way. What I'm saying is certain behaviors, especially depending on the country they're from, are far more prevalent than in the United States. So it's like y'all. I think what it is y'all have painted Latin America as like this haven for men, right? And y'all are not really giving the full picture of what's really going down. And part of it is because y'all don't have the full picture, and y'all have tricked yourself into thinking you have the full picture because you might have some local friends and you might drink some beers with them, or you might hang out in the hood or whatever. But language is so important. Language and genuine cultural immersion, meaning you're watching the same programs they're watching, you're watching the same news they're watching, you're listening to the same music that they're listening to. Like that's a piece that the majority, I don't care how many trips you make to the Dominican Republic, will never get until you truly invest time in becoming fluent in the language and the cultural immersion.
How many times have you been to the Dominican Republic?
She's here now. She's living there now.
Okay.
She's living there now. So let me do this, Mariah, because again, and I'm glad that you brought that into the conversation, because again, this is what they like to do, and they'll bring it back to the topic of what we wanted to talk about. The grand topic was about motherfuckers messing with these young gals, which again, in the DR, which we've had Brother Manuel, who's been here on the channel before. Anybody that's followed the channel before, Brother Manuel has come up.
He just said he might come up in a little bit.
But let me finish. Brother Manuel has said it is not an unusual thing in the DR, especially up in the Campo and other certain places. So the pearl clutching around the fact that these go on in these Latin American countries, African countries, it exists there as well, and certain Asian countries. It's a real fucking thing.
In Louisiana.
You guys tend to don't even do that shit, Coach. Because again, here's the thing is, everybody does that knee jerk, and I hate that shit.
I heard that, Coach.
And the reason why I say it is because this shit happens in the U.S. and it does. And the reason why I don't like to joke about it because then they use it as an excuse to excuse it where they're at.
Well, let me say this. I've never.
They fuck with kids in the U.S. So why are you gonna bring up them? Because we don't. As
that's why I said that. Yeah.
Let me do it at the level that they do it because our punishment is so much more severe. If you in the U.S., we will throw your motherfucking ass into the deepest, darkest hole, never to be seen again. In these countries, we just had the baseball player Wanda Franco, who's a millionaire, sat there was fucking a 14-year-old in the DR. A 14-year-old.
That the parents of the 14-year-old said was okay because he was giving them money.
It doesn't matter. He was a grown fucking man.
I'm not saying that, Rico.
No, he's not.
But what I'm saying, I'm not saying that it was okay. Stop taking my words and twisting.
No,
what I'm saying is,
I said it doesn't matter.
Oh my God! Would you let me talk? What I'm saying is, well, you need to be cut off. What I'm saying is, to y'all point, you and Miss Mariah point, in that situation, the court found that they didn't even give him time because they found the parents of the 14-year-old more guilty than he was, which goes with what y'all saying. That's what I'm saying.
No,
now I would say
this. My point is this: there's never ever the age of consent in the DR is 18. That is the lawful age of consent in the Dominican Republic. So any man, no matter what,
we had this conversation, Rico.
I didn't say you gonna let me finish. I let you. I shut up for you, right?
Go ahead.
So no matter what, I put it like this. I'm gonna just say this to any American ears: you come up and think that shit gonna fly for you. It flew for Wanda Franco because he's fucking Dominican. He'll never play baseball in the Major League Baseball again. Right. Will never play for Japan. His baseball career is over. He blew $180 million, whatever the fuck he was getting.
But Rico,
American ass sleep with an underage person in any country on the motherfucking planet, we are going to bury your ass. I don't care what the excuse is. That's all you need to hear.
But we talked about this is what I was saying. Remember, we had a conversation about this, and you and I agreed as both being veterans that as Americans, we don't care what country you go to, the age of consent is 18, and that's what you better go by.
Period.
So we're not in disagreement on that.
Right. So what I'm sitting there saying is, you. The reason why I brought Wanda Franco up because you was like, I can't believe. I'm like, here was this 20-something-year-old baseball player fucking a 14-year-old.
So no, I believe that when y'all.
Right, and what the only reason I brought that up was to show that it happens. Everybody in the country knew about it. Nobody's upset about it. Everybody's more upset about the girl and her mother as if the man had no responsibility. He's walking around free.
Listen, I think they're upset. I think they're upset at the mother because she consented to it.
But why has the man not done 1 day in jail? That man has not spent 1 day behind bars for fucking that 14-year-old child.
Because he had money and he can't ever go back to the United States.
But that's what I'm saying. No, right. It's because it's part of the culture. Right. Because if it wasn't part of the culture, his ass would have did time. Sometime. I'm not saying he would have got 50 years. He might have got a year. But he got no time because it goes back to what Mariah is saying. The way they look at it, he ain't the only one that fucked a 14-year-old that year. It might have been 1,000 other motherfucking Dominicans.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Their culture says, she was fast, she was this, she was that. Their culture gives room to excuse the man, and they think it's okay. And until that culture changes, it's gonna keep happening.
But I mean, go ahead, Mariah.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with that. Can you bring that comment back up?
Okay.
Yeah,
Des
that's
4406. I'm gonna address this. I'm gonna address this.
Go ahead and read it.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor. Drag that
lady's
motherfucker for Phil.
platform is to bash black passport bros. I would argue that passport bros are not only black men, but anyways, while ignoring white guys. Have you seen my videos where I have talked about white pedophiles in Latin America? Probably didn't. And I've made, not only that, I've made several YouTube and TikTok reels talking about them. Then y'all get upset and say that the white men aren't passport bros either, but I digress. She has no credibility whatsoever. If I didn't have credibility, for somebody to not have credibility, that means that they lie. So I need you to be very specific about what I've lied about. Okay. Go follow the white guys around. I'm not following any guys around, and leave us alone. Sir, I don't see you. I don't know you. Nobody can say I've followed them around. I've taken a camera to their face or anything. Again, this is emotionalism. It's emotionalism and knee-jerk reactions towards me based on having a low IQ and a complete lack of comprehension and understanding, honestly and truly.
Mariah.
And it's also feeling triggered. Again, when I talk about the white men or any other group of men, a lot of y'all are nowhere to be seen because you only come hollering when you feel hit. And then you start making it about race, even if I'm not even talking about race, right? But I digress. This is just a stupid comment. And, the proof is out there. So I don't care.
Mariah, hold on. Let me fix it for you. Des Smith is a fucking gay passport bro.
Oh, damn.
He is. He's always over there in Razor Rays. The nigga always trying to slick diss me. I done told him I like girls, but he old gay ass passport bro, and he always got some old twerking ass, tweaking ass shit to say. So don't pay that fool no mind. I told you, stop giving these motherfuckers the respect that they don't deserve. That's all Des Smith is. That's why you see on his avatar, he got his shirt off. He's sending choosing signals. He's sending choosing signals to the passport bros. Choose me. He's a fucking pick me. That's what
Rico be going in.
She is biracial. Her father is white. I was raised by my black mother, but okay.
No, but
how biracials feel about black men? No, how do we feel? This is my first time. If anything, I see most biracial women, they're more likely to go date a dark-skinned chocolate man or whatever the case may be. That's what I see. But either way it goes, this is a completely racist comment. Because you can't really throw us all in the same, but like I'm biracial and I don't know how biracials feel about all, I don't know the general sentiment.
Mariah.
So again, this is trying to call out racism while being racist yourself. Because I don't know, how do we feel about y'all?
But Mariah, listen to the cues, read the words, and you will hear all of the LGBT. And again, I'm a supporter of the community. I don't know why Des Smith just don't come out the fucking closet. It's 2026. Love who you love. It's okay. But
Rico, where your flag at? You said you support the community.
He wants to pretend like he's a fucking man when he's a woman. And, he wants to troll. That's why. And you know what kills me? You notice most of them, they want to bully a woman. He could have came up to me and said something about me. He could have said something about Coach. He could have said something about Easy. He picked you.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Kaz is. So no, I haven't said anything about him because I don't know who the hell that is.
Mariah, again, don't you hear all those women in the chat screaming and crying, punching on the woman?
Mm-hmm.
You notice that? They can say anything about what I said, what Coach said, what Easy said. No, they go after you.
You be going in on them harder. You be going in on them harder.
Windmilling. They women because they
that's all and pulling hair.
Period. That's what they're doing. And Des Smith is the head of it. You need to go stop being a little bitch.
I don't know. Y'all know who that is? Kirk Cass. I don't even know who that is. Y'all want me to talk about people I don't know about?
He's a white traveler.
Talked about what's that? I talked about Casey Redbeard beard. Okay, so that's the white man that I know. That's the most prevalent that I know. I don't know Kirk Cass.
Kirk Cass, he's a white guy. He's a traveler. He's not Casey. See, Casey Redbeard problem is he went into the overseas dating coach shit. Kirk Cass just travels. He kind of He's like a white version of a Czech or somewhere. He does do some little goofy shit, but I don't see him doing nothing too
How
far.
about this?
Bad because he gets into places. I'm like, he got white.
How about this? Can y'all define passport bro? Like I said, I'm not a passport bro.
Passport bro.
I don't claim the title.
That's my definition of fuck nigga. Period. Just a plain old fuck nigga that's a sex tourist that travel overseas for cheap pussy. The end. If you try to sit there and say they're not geo arbitraging, they're not looking for wives, they're not looking for real estate. There's no evidence of any of that. All they are is fuck niggas, sex tourists that fucking go overseas and trick. And to give them anything else, you are being dishonest. Because the evidence.
Me?
I'm saying anyone. The evidence shows they're nothing else when all they do is go and fucking throw parties, show whores, boat parties with whores over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So if you look at all the evidence and you come to the conclusion of anything else, you are being wildly dishonest. Even when you said Redbeard, look at all his content. When you talk about Skylar, look at their content. Look at what their
Skylar's a passport bro? Come on, nah. Now, Skylar's not a passport.
He was. Shit, yes, he was. Well, what is Skylar?
Well, I'll tell you what I've heard the passport bros like BMT say that they are, and then I'll give you my opinion on it. So I heard BMT said that passport bros are men who were looking to move abroad in order to practice financial arbitrage and leverage their U.S. dollar and find more traditional relationships.
Now, name one that does that.
And now I have said that, well, according to him, he has done that.
You haven't been following that long. He was tricking on the boat parties and everything.
I'm just saying, according to him, he has done that.
According to his
what I will say is this, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. At this point, you cannot educate people into thinking, having an opinion of what the passport bro is. So BMT made the argument, okay, when they do this, we need to go to the dictionary, or we need to show them this term, or we need to this. And what's being missed here is that there's connotation and then there's denotation, right? And basically what it is you're not going to be able to convince, especially locals abroad. You probably have a better time convincing American people because they don't live abroad, but you're not going to be able to change locals' minds and opinions of what a passport bro is, because the bottom line is based on behavior that they have seen from even some of these men who are claiming to be passport bros, based on the behavior that they see and based on what they see going on the ground, they have determined that single male foreigners are passport bros, and they associate sex tourism with these men. And you're not going to be able to say, well, no, as a matter of fact, we do this, this is this, and here is a dictionary definition, and it's an ideology, because people care more about what they can see with their own two eyes. And what a lot of men in the space are not understanding, and I'm glad I had Ray Condor, who's Colombian, on my channel explain, is that they have whole documentaries in Spanish on passport bros. They have decided what y'all are, or I'm not sure if you're a part of that movement, but talking to passport bros, they have decided what y'all are, and you would have to be on your best behavior for the next 10 years to change their opinions.
And Mariah, can I add this? If in Medellin they deem passport bros as sex tourists, according to the mayor of Medellin, correct?
Yes.
Brazil has deemed, so that's Medellin.
It's in their media, it's in their news, it's in all of their journalism. Yes.
But here's this. That's one country. The country of Brazil classified the passport bros as a criminal organization.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, how the fuck do y'all think y'all gonna clean this stench up if two different countries are saying y'all are the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst type of travelers?
Yeah, but the DR is not saying it yet, but they right behind it.
Right. But I'm saying Colombia says you're sex tourists, and Brazil says you're a criminal organization. Why the fuck do you still want to be classified as that? Yeah, and that's on the Dominican, that's on the Brazilian news and everything else, because the Floyd and all the other.
I recommend getting a passport, bro, and asking them that question? That's a good question.
They can't clean it up. The only person that's gonna sit there, you go to BMT and he go, I can't do nothing about it.
A lot of them trying to change the name now to something else.
But because they can change the name, people are not gonna look at that. What they're gonna do is they're gonna look at the country that you're coming from, and they're gonna look at your behaviors, and they're gonna make a determination. And it just is what it is. A lot of these men are gonna call themselves something different, and then come, and you'll have a small minority that's doing right, and then the vast majority that's coming in and ruining it for them too. And everybody's gonna always be under that umbrella of the passport bros, and you have to prove yourself to be something else. I want to address this comment. Look at a woman's perspective on what men need to do in a men's space. Okay, that's fine and all. So you will sit here and listen. First of all, I'm not telling you what you need to do. Now, I'm saying if y'all want to keep that same term, it's literally going to take about 10 years of good behavior. That means nobody fucking up for y'all to change people's mind, because that's how bad. Do it if you want to, or don't do it if you want to. But furthermore, y'all will sit up here and listen to men who don't even live in these countries, or they just travel back and forth. Or if they live in these countries, they are not fluent in Spanish. Y'all will listen to them and their perspective before y'all listen to a woman who has grown up in Latin American culture, lived in the countries that I'm talking about, and speaks Spanish fluently. Y'all will listen to those men that are missing so many pieces of the puzzle that you need for cultural competency and understanding. And y'all will take their word as law or want to hear their advice when they really don't know shit.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, let me ask you this. I'm switching subjects just a tad bit, and this goes for the whole panel. Do you think y'all was just talking about passport bros and will it change and all of that stuff? Do you think this dude at NYC the Future, will he be able to, since he's known as being with young girls, that's the second or third time. That's allegedly he has been with them, but do you think he's gonna rebound from this?
I hope not. Fuck him.
I hope not either, but I'm just saying.
But you know what? I'm be honest with you. Let me be honest with you, crystal clear. Yes, he absolutely will rebound. 100%.
You think people gonna keep sending money?
Let me be clear to you. These motherfuckers in these spaces don't give a fuck that he did that. I'm gonna say it with my whole chest. Yes, easy. I'm generalizing. Here
we go. You shouldn't. But I'm gonna say this. What did he do?
He supposedly, but he admitted he slept with someone that was underage.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Okay, but I'm saying what I'm telling you is
I don't care where he did it at. That's fucked up.
Listen. Let me finish. I'm telling you, motherfuckers in this space don't care. They clutch their pearls and pretend like they do. But they will still support this motherfucker because he had 2 other prior credible instances. And it's almost like somebody would say, well, I didn't see you put the gun to coach's head and blow his fucking brains out. But if you know I was at the scene of 2 other murders, why do it always have to be I have to see Rico shoot a motherfucker? Like, if that nigga
because listen, Rico, stop. People gossip. So, but if the dude admitted to it, that's enough for me.
Listen, easy. I don't care. There's a law of, like when we lock people up in America, oftentimes we don't have fucking demonstrable, provable evidence. It's called a preponderance of guilt.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's called you have to be guilty beyond all reasonable doubt.
And by
preponderance of guilt.
Preponderance of the evidence. Meaning they locked people up for murder and we never found the fucking body.
Yes, you're correct. What I'm saying to you is you're leaving out the most important part, reasonable doubt. So what I'm saying to you is that him admitting to it is enough for me. I don't even know why we have to. All right then.
Right, I get that. But I'm saying, I'm setting him out. I'm saying there are multiple people in this space that there's credible evidence that these motherfuckers have done some creepy fuck nigga pedo shit. And motherfuckers will just put it away because they didn't see it or the person didn't admit it. So I'm like,
well, let me say this.
Always have to come down to somebody admitting it. If I see you with a bunch of very young looking women, easy, I'm hanging that jack your ass. I ain't got to see you.
Hey, listen, my chicas carry a cellular.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what they carry.
But my point to you is this. Let me say this, Rico. Let me say this. Just want to put this out there. The same standard by which you judge others is a standard by which you most likely will be judged. So just because somebody listen to me, just because somebody come to me saying Rico this and Rico that, like I will say that's not the Rico I know. You're gonna have to prove it to me.
No, but
you understand?
My point is this, easy. I expect to be judged by the standard that I do. I want to be, because that's the thing that keeps me from fucking up, is my belief in being judged by a harsh standard and it being set that way, and society as a whole. So we convict people in the court of public opinion every day. You don't always you're oftentimes you're not going to have concrete evidence. But if there's a preponderance of evidence that shows that it's more likely to have happened than not have happened, civil court, people get locked up. It's like, no, the motherfucker did it.
Hey, Travel.
So again, let me all I'm gonna say is he will come back from it because people supported him to do the shit he did.
I don't believe that. If what you're saying is true, nah.
Easy. When he first showed up with the girl Lucy, you said it, Mariah. Lucy looked underage. Why the fuck are you spending him money to even date her? They shouldn't have been supporting him with.
This is wild. I ain't gonna lie. This is wild.
Lucy looks about 14 or 15. Right. So I would like, even as a man, even if a girl that looks like that can prove to me that she's 20, it would just feel, it's like, to me, if me as a grown 33-year-old woman, if a man that looks like that young can prove to me that they're 21, I still don't want to sleep with you because you look too much like a child. Like, it's just, me personally, I couldn't do it.
Lucy looked and behaved like a child.
She does. She behaves like a
yes, she
does.
So my whole point is this. That was 6 months. But listen, this was 6 or 8 months of him messing with Lucy, and people was funding him and supporting him. They don't care. And they don't care that he fucked somebody underage. They don't care. You know, Des Smith probably wished it was a boy because he gay.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Rico has no filter today.
Gay ass. But that's the whole point. I'm saying these creep motherfuckers don't care.
I just don't like the
They do, but they don't. And I'm generalizing because believe me,
I don't like it.
That I can get specifically, I'm reporting motherfuckers. I'm turning them in. Don't let me see it in the physical, me or my fucking goddamn crew.
Let me say something to you, Ronin Travels. Let me tell you something. I gotta do this. Bitch, I'm here and you gonna have to see me, ho. It's men like you always. We don't need such and such in the space. Well, guess what, bitch? I'm here. And what are you gonna do to push me out? You're gonna have to see me as long as I wanna be here. Do you understand? Because I got something to say. And at the end of the day, it don't matter how many times people like you try to bully people into not collaborating with me. People see the value in collaborating me because I actually bring value to the conversation. So you trying to pressure somebody, tell somebody who they should and should not have on their show. Bitch, go make your own motherfucking show, ho, and then you can decide who can and cannot come on your show. But I have no respect for people like you that's constantly hating and being, you don't like what I'm saying, then address what I'm saying. But you can't do shit to stop me. Do you understand, sir? I'm here. I'm not going to get off the panel until the show ends or I'm ready to get off the panel, right? So guess what? Either you shut the fuck up about it or you keep scrolling, ho. But as long as you're here on this panel tonight, you're gonna hear my opinion. So I
didn't see what he said.
I don't know.
What did he say?
But again, let's go back to the topic. She saw it, so we'll leave it at that.
Okay, roger that.
My point is again, I'm crystal clear and I stand by it. And fuck you, Des Smith. I'm gonna be as out of line with your ass as I can be. But let's just keep it a real. You probably be one of them motherfuckers supporting in the future. You know what I'm saying? Because you up here again, ready to punch on a woman, but I ain't hear you say a motherfucking thing about Future when he admitted sleeping with that child.
Yo, this is crazy right now.
So again, Desmond, you was in race. I sat there repeatedly, and I'm like, I had everybody go after Mariah, and I get it. They want to sit there and they want to go at her. Oh, she's this, that, whatever. But then, if you bring up Future or Jay Rello, oh, I ain't got nothing to say. I'm like, wait a minute. Jay Rello was convicted of facilitating a woman getting raped. He was convicted of
what?
Time for it. Yes. Come on, man. See, that's why I can't fuck with you easy. You
but
always
here's
say like you don't
even
know
in the chat, we're talking about a grown man messing with kids, and they're still more concerned about me.
Wow. A mother or a stripper. And I'm like, come on.
Well, how was he able to leave the country? If he got
a felon does not prevent you from getting a passport. I know a lot of felons.
This is crazy.
You get a passport with a felon? Stop.
Mm-hmm.
Stop believing that you served your time. It's done. You apply for a passport. They give it to you.
But see,
if you have
one of the
sex shit, they might put you on an angel watch, and certain countries will block you. Certain countries won't. It doesn't stop you from traveling. So my whole point is, yes, he was free to travel. He traveled, but I'm saying people in the space know what he did. Me and Pacer went and showed all the paperwork, no made up shit. Jay Rello don't even deny the shit. He acknowledges he went to jail for this shit, and they still support it. So why would they not support Future fucking a 15-year-old? He didn't rape her. She gave it to him. They're going to support it. They're going to rationalize in their mind. He didn't do anything wrong. Leave him alone. What they're going to say? She lied. She lied about her age. She did this.
Always.
They're going to put everything on her, nothing on his 45-year-old ass. And my question is, again, they can sit there. Mariah, I wouldn't give a fuck if you was hanging off the pole right now. You ain't sat there and mess with no minors, and you ain't got nobody great. So I can't talk about you without talking about them first. And they act like these niggas is untouchable. I'm like, no, miss me with this bullshit. And those are facts, easy. Those are facts. And
well, let me say this, man. I'm just repeating myself on this. This is
easy. Future and Rello got big channels, big streams. They do fundraisers. Niggas send them money. Jay Rello went to Africa off of niggas giving him money.
That's crazy, man.
He went
the standards. I don't like talking like I'm an old man. But when I was coming up, you could do many things that was out of pocket. But if you fuck with kids, you didn't have to worry about the cops. You had to worry about the dudes in the neighborhood because they would draw straws to get you. I don't know what this is with people thinking it's okay. I don't understand that.
They think
I do not understand that. Like I said, I've been overseas first when I was in the military, and that's where I really fell in love with traveling. And anytime I go to another country, I know I'm an American. My standard is 18 and up. I don't care. Some people don't like that. 18 and up. I want to see ID. I want to know who you are. 18 and up. How old are you? In my 40s.
That's too young.
Why would you date an 18-year-old?
Because I don't want to date a 33-year-old.
Okay, so y'all, I'm gonna say this again. I said this on my live streams. Y'all want to be serious about cleaning up the travel space. If a man is in his 40s and he'll go as low as 18, he has no moral compass or governor. The law is his governor. The reason why he won't date a 17-year-old is because the law says it. If the law made it legal for him to date a 17-year-old, he would. Then if the law made it legal for him to date a 16 or a 15-year-old, he would. If the law said it was legal for him to date, if legal is the standard, then that means you have no moral internal compass. Ain't no reason why a 44-year-old, if I'm 44, if I'm 18 years old,
just let me know when you finish.
40-something-year-old trying to date me, ill. It's giving great vibes. Like, it's giving PDF vibes.
Hey, but see, it's amazing how you can take that and get all of that out of that, and that's supposed to be okay. And that's probably why these dudes are going off on you in the comments. But let me say this to you. In the United States of America, in some states, the age of consent is 16. But I still would not mess with a chick who's under 18. maybe the age is
I don't
21,
believe
but you will have a
that.
let's stop. So what should be my cutoff?
No,
You're in your
No, I want to
40s.
ask
You
her.
really
Let her,
between
John, let her answer. John, let her answer. What
when
should be
you're
the
in your
cutoff?
40s, a cool 25, where the woman's brain is already
Ah,
developed, that she's
a
been
cool
through it. That's
25.
not good enough. You gotta go all the way down to the borderline. I don't trust men like you, and I would never bring a man like you around my teenage daughter. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Now, easy. In all fairness, easy. You know, I told you that was my stance too. I told
Man,
you that.
listen.
You jumped on me.
Now
I'm just
listen.
saying, in all fairness, I'm just saying.
No, you did.
Never.
You
You
have told me that. You
wouldn't
have told me
bring a
that
man
before.
that's in his
Okay, huh?
40s and with
You
that
have told me that
18-year-old
before.
around
But
his
people,
daughter.
And then
listen. People like to say shit and twist shit to what they want and what they think should be. And all I can say is, it's not just about what is legal. That's the way I was raised. Like, it's 18 and up. So even like I said, if I was down south in a state where it was 16 and up, I still wouldn't be interested. Because for
Why?
me, in my
Because the way that you
socialization,
said that, I don't want to date a 33-year-old when you're older than me. What makes you think that a young woman really wants to sit up and date a
but what makes
middle-aged
you think? What you think? A
since you
grown man
you're
wants a 33-year-old old.
older than me? What makes you
I mean,
think
have you
that
seen
somebody
yourself?
18 between 18 and 25 should not look down on you and want you for anything other than money if they're desperate? That's the thing. Y'all be thinking that somebody wants your ass
Nobody.
when really these women don't want y'all either. And y'all
Listen, there's
the
plenty of
nerve
33-year-olds out here sleeping with chicks, sleeping with
women
dudes
who
for
are
money.
younger than
That's
you.
what you used to do. You was going to the club, stripping. What was you doing it for? For a hobby? No, you was doing it for money.
Okay,
And I
hold
didn't
on a
say there was
second.
anything wrong with that. And I didn't say it
Oh,
was
there's
anything
nothing wrong with
with
that.
that. Wait.
Okay.
There was
Go,
anything
All right.
wrong
go
with
to Ronan's,
the
go to
18 to
Ronan's
25
comment because I want
year old
to try to address that.
getting with you for your money? Because at the end of the day, you the older person and you the one that's in the
Ah,
wrong, to be honest.
so you're making the standards for me. I just
Hold
want to make sure I'm clear.
on a second,
What do
easy.
you mean?
Easy,
Same
hold on a second.
thing.
I'm just
Already
not.
know
Listen,
men that are 18
this
and
is her saying
19
what
want to
standards
sleep with
supposed
me.
to be.
I know men that are 18 and 19 and 20 want to sleep with me. Guess what? It's my
I think a lot of
responsibility
women out here, a lot of women out
3-year-old
here
to
who are
sleep
not
with.
doms, a lot of women out here who are not doms and their time has passed. They want to make it like they never
You
did
see this?
anything,
You see this?
and you have to understand that they jealous of younger women. It's a regular thing.
Here's the thing. I'm coming at you correct.
Well, I hear you. I feel you. I feel you.
Never date
I
a
feel
man
you.
like you. Those girls don't even want to date you. Why do you think I would care that you trying to make it seem like, oh, we be jealous of these younger women? We don't want to fucking date y'all niggas either. I wouldn't
You
want to
sound
date y'all
jealous.
niggas either. Do you understand? So it's to the point
I hear you. So why are you yelling?
Get the
Why are you
quality women
yelling?
out age group.
And why are you yelling? So you get to dictate what my age group is? But why are you yelling?
Women with childish mindsets, because you a childish ass nigga. Do you understand?
You sound and you sound like a ghetto broad.
Catch up.
And you sound like a ghetto broad.
Okay. Can we time out for a second?
Let me catch up.
Okay,
Hold
time
on.
out for a
Let me
second.
catch up. 'Cause
So guess what? When the young 25-year-old, when the girl gets past a certain age, when you got her at 18, guess what? Now she's expired. Now you gotta go get you another young one, because you don't even see women as human beings. You don't even like people that are your fucking age, but you think somebody's supposed to see value in your ass. Meanwhile, you chasing after little girls and you turning your nose up at women that are your age, but somebody's supposed to see value in you. You ain't, according to your standards, you're expired and you ain't shit either. Because guess what? We all age, we all bleed red, we all got to get older. So you ain't no different than a woman that's expired, if that's the case.
Mariah.
When women get to 33, it's over.
I'm gonna let Easy say something for like 2 minutes, and then we're gonna switch.
No, 30 seconds. No fucking 2 minutes. That's too long.
Go ahead. Easy.
Why is that too long, Rico? Why is 2 minutes too long?
Y'all been going back and forth for about 10 minutes, and we want to move.
Listen.
What I'm saying.
Okay, I understand. I understand. I understand this.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Miss Mariah, I think you got personally offended by what I said. That really was not my intent. That's your issue. I will tell you. I will. You see. I listen to you. I listen to you. I listen to you. I listen to you.
Then don't come on. Don't
easy. Hold on for a second.
You made it personal, but go on. You made it personal, but you play with me.
Rico,
okay,
quiet.
hang on, Mariah.
Quiet.
We're just gonna give him 30 seconds. Please let him finish. I get it. I understand you want to respond. Easy. 30 seconds. Mariah, please let him finish so we can move the conversation. Please, I ask both of you. But don't say nothing. Yeah, say what you got to say, easy. But
all right.
Mariah, please try to hold it. I get, I understand where you're coming from, but go ahead.
All right. You put a lot of things on me that I did not say. That's one. I did not make it personal. You did. Secondly, you are reading into stuff that's not there. Now, quite honestly, Rico has said he disagrees with that, and I respected that, but I don't see the problem with it. You took it to a next level that was completely, totally unnecessary and disrespectful. You said you was a stripper. I didn't say that. And you expect us to believe you was out here stripping, but you wasn't selling any butt cheeks. I didn't call you out on that. I didn't say nothing about you. I respect you this whole conversation. Now you are in your 30s. It seems like you're bitter. You don't have to be bitter. And you seem like a nice person at first. Just be nice.
Okay.
Be a lady and be nice.
Okay. We tried. Right. Okay. We tried it. Can we just for a second? Okay.
All right. We was talking about NYC.
Now stop for 1 second. Hold on, Coach. Ronan, I just want to sit there and say because again, I want to make sure he did the comment after Des met. I think you put the comment.
Let me say this. I gotta say this, Rico. Mm-hmm. I don't have super chat because I demonetized myself on the Dominican route. So if somebody want me to read their comment out and the rest of their comments for the rest of the day, if they send me a cash app for $5 and up, I'm gonna keep on reading your comments. But we got 100 people on right now, so I can't get everybody's stuff. But go ahead, Rico.
Right. But Ronan, I'm just trying to figure. Like I said, in the comments you put, go up under Des Met at the higher. He said, Rico, I've always, as well as my host, against the actions in this space. So correct that comment. Okay. And I want to say to you, Rona, if you're still watching, I'm confused. I know you have went out against the actions in this space. So I definitely support and agree with you there 1,000% that you have spoken out against a lot of the goofy shit in the space. How, Mariah feels about the other comments you said, that's between her and you. But absolutely, I think you, Fearless, even Canal, even though I don't agree with him on everything, y'all have spoke out against a lot of the goofy shit in the space, and I will stand by that, and I will support that. So I'm not sure what comment I need to correct. I certainly didn't say, I hope I didn't say anything to the other way, but if I did, I want to correct that no, Ronan feels the way he feel about women in the space, and he's fair to feel that way. I don't feel the same way about women in this space. I'm okay with women in the space. I'm just about trying to correct the bad behavior in the space. So whoever corrects it, I don't care where it comes from. It can come from a white person, a female, straight, gay. I don't give a shit. If you're doing some fucked up shit, anybody can call it out, especially if you're doing it. But again, so I do want to say that. I just wanted to correct that because that was stuck out to me, brother. I support you. He's not with the fuck shit. Some of the other things he said about women not being in the space, that's how he feels. And Mariah feels differently. I don't get involved in that, but he definitely calls out a lot of the goofy shit in the space. He just does it differently than I do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna answer this right here. What is the purpose of a woman being in space? So the purpose for me is she's an expat, and she is giving her point of view, and she is an educated woman that's giving her advice and her point of view on what she thinks. So I don't see nothing wrong with that.
And the crazy part,
she's a passport, bro.
This ain't 1945.
But the worst part about it is she actually actively lives overseas, which is more than 90% of the motherfuckers in the chat. That's what's crazy about it. Like, I don't even live full-time overseas right now. So what do I look like telling her she can't talk about the DR when she lives in the DR and I just go back and forth? To me, that's fucking crazy.
Crazy. Okay, so address y'all's comments about y'all saying me not talking about older women and stuff messing with. I've done a whole I did a whole 6-hour live talking about these older women going to these countries, messing with these white women, already messing with these young kids. YouTube took it down. So I did an entire live. We sat up and addressed it, criticized it, showed many examples. You just sit up here trying to say, "Oh, she's a passport bro." Ha ha ha! Very funny. Nobody would ever consider me a passport bro.
But Mariah, I'm gonna say
where y'all try to joke and y'all try to draw false comparisons. The world, when I have to go through an immigration line, when I go to these countries, nobody would ever look at me and put that label on me, and I don't deal with the same shit that y'all have to deal with. It quite.
And let's put it this way.
Rico, let me say this before I
put it this way, plain and simple. Passport bros and passport sisters are fucking sex tourists, which nobody on this panel, I don't know about you, Easy, but the other three of us are not sex tourists.
He said he wasn't a passport
okay,
bro.
So he's not. But I'm saying
with this, let's talk about the passport sisters or the women traveling for sex.
They sex tourists too.
Wait, they are. Let me be clear. They are. If you are a woman specifically traveling for sex, they are. But here's the thing, and this is just the reality of the situation. I don't have to contend with going to a country and somebody looking at me and labeling me as a sex tourist without even knowing me. It's something that I'll never have to deal with, because the reality of the matter is these women passport sisters, whatever they're doing, I don't know if it's that they're operating in fewer numbers. I don't know if it's because they're moving in more silence, but whatever it is that they're doing it in a way to where the rest of us women don't have to deal with whatever reputation comes from it. So these women try to be as funny as they want to be and put that label on me. Yeah. But at the end of the day, the difference between you and me is that when you travel, you are automatically starting from the point where you have to prove that you're not that, and I just have to be.
That's true. The male community, right? The bro community paints a stench on black male travelers, and even though that there are passport sisters that travel for sex, absolutely, but they do it in a way.
I met some,
but they do it in a way that they don't make their whole community of women look like that, and that's some self accountability that we have to take. We have to say.
So you okay with that?
Huh? What was that, Eve?
So Rico, you're okay with the women doing that because of the way they do it?
Absolutely not. I said they're sex tourists. They're degenerate. They're reprobate. They're all other. What I'm saying is,
and I did a show about it.
They don't publicize it so much, it makes it easier for women to travel, as opposed because men can't shut the fuck up. It makes it harder for men to travel.
All right, time out, everybody. I'm gonna take the floor real quick. Hey, we got somebody. Hey, man, you're gonna have to show. I don't know who you are.
What's the name?
Fearless. You know Fearless?
Oh yeah, I know Fearless.
He's okay, cool. We good. I just don't want to be pouring bombs.
I know you Fearless. I vouch for you.
Okay, cool. What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, brother, how you doing? I'm sorry,
No, you good. I just want respectful people on the panel and giving our sister and Easy and everybody. You don't
Fearless
have to.
Fearless is respectful. He's usually wrong, but he's respectful.
You don't have to respect. You don't have to respect Rico, but that. No. But
he's usually wrong, but he's very respectful. I definitely rock with this brother.
Go ahead, brother.
Rico, I'm gonna have a question for you, and this is.
Oh Lord.
I'll see if you understand this. So this is my issue with Mariah also, and it's the same that I have with the brothers that travel. I never understand why we travel to a whole nother country to go to the same ghetto that we leave in the United States. This is from Mariah. I watched one of your shows, and just to be it, my wife is Dominican. I just left Santo Domingo. Your question was, all the handsome dudes live in Santo Domingo Este. That's the hood. It almost seemed as though you were comfortable being in the hood because the men were handsome.
I don't live in the hood, brother. I don't live in the
hood. You got coach on your ass now.
Go ahead.
But
let him finish.
It was almost as though you were comfortable to go to Santo Domingo Este to deal with handsome guys who were broke instead of going across the river. Hold on.
That's what you. Okay, go ahead. Because now you making up shit. But go ahead.
I'm only going by what you put on your social media.
You're adding stuff, but go ahead.
Your question was, hey, Dominican women, why is it that all the handsome guys live in Santo Domingo Este, where you were at, and said they're broke? Almost as though, you didn't want to go across the river to the other part of Santo Domingo because the guys were not handsome who had money.
Now you're adding stuff. I never said I didn't. First of all, I never said that that's the reason why I'm in Santo Domingo Este. Okay, all I said was, why are all the fine niggas in the hood? And that's not just in Colombia. I mean, that's not just in Dominican Republic. That's everywhere. Even everywhere. People will tell you some of the most attractive people live in the hood. And I never said I didn't want to go across the bridge. I've done several videos of me going across the bridge. Now, so you just made that up that I want to be in Santo Domingo Este and I don't want to go across the bridge because I'm here because of the men are handsome. Obviously, the most important benefit of being in Santo Domingo Este is that it's significantly cheaper than if you go across the bridge. Now, furthermore, I did not live in the hood when I lived in the United States as an adult. I did not live in the hood. So I didn't leave the hood to come to the hood. But what I will tell you is, if you want to socially integrate, this is not just in Colombia, this is not just in Dominican Republic, but this is in Colombia. It's easier to stay in middle income or, I'm calling this the hood. Dominicans would not, it's worse. They probably wouldn't call this the hood, but this is the hood to me where I live at, right? It's easier to socially integrate if you go live in a lower income area, right? Or a lower middle class area. Why is that? Because if you go live in, like in Colombia, if you go live in El Poblado, a lot of those expats are not socially integrated. Why are they not socially integrating? They go stay in a high-rise apartment. They're staying in places where people don't talk to their neighbors. They're staying in places where they need to take a car to drive downhill to interact with anybody. And then the only Colombians that they are interacting with are the people that come clean their house or at the grocery store or things that they have to make time to do. Like, for example, go play tennis or something. I literally can just open my door, go outside and talk to my neighbors that are hanging out because that's what people in these areas do. They hang out, they talk to each other, so it makes for better social integration. That's what I like. That's what I'm here for. And I'm not going to live the way that y'all think that I should be living. I'm not out here sleeping with the entire neighborhood or constantly on the prowl for Dominican men. I spend the vast majority of my time outside trying to ignore them, as a matter of fact. So, next question.
It still goes back to this. Mm-hmm. And it's the same I say with the guys. Why do you go to the barrios? It's Dominican Republic. Across the river is just as cheap. You're an American. You have American money. So why not be in an area where you're...
I just explained it to you, sir. I've been over there. I just explained it to you why I like it over here. And
listen. When I was in Santo Domingo, I stayed in Pinatini.
That's exactly what I said.
Abraham Lincoln. This is where I like it. This is where I like to be. This is where I can socially integrate. This is where I can hear the music that I want to hear. I like to hear them bumping their music, blasting their music louder. I like it. You can't make me like what you like.
No. I'm right with you.
You where you want to, but you're not going to make it seem like is that I'm over here for the purposes of sex.
No, I never said nothing about sex. I'm agreeing with you. That's what y'all do. The brothers travel and they go to those same places because that's what they feel comfortable with.
Let me cut you off.
Okay. Hold on. What's the problem? When I want to go to the other side, I could just take a car and go to the other side and go experience whatever places I want to. But yeah, I'm where I'm comfortable at.
You can do what you want to do, but men can't do what they want to do when they go overseas.
No, don't answer that, Mariah. Hold on.
Now you're equating me living in a particular area to sex tourism, which is crazy.
Let me say this. I've seen 3 comments where they say the S stay, and then I heard from brother Fearless said that
nigga, it's the hood.
But let me finish. So I have never had any issues where I live in the East, and it's building up more and more. They do have some hood.
Hood niggas belong in the hood.
Rico, shut your old the Django ass up and let me talk. So I love my neighborhood, and just like this comment, Coach, neighborhood looks nice. I can show you worse here. So it's
life a bill from the hood.
So
look good.
The East, don't let nobody fool you. State is not all hood and barrio.
No, it's not. And here's the thing: they're building it up, and some areas are better. They're actually building it up pretty quickly. But here's the thing: y'all are equating. First of all, I've never told men this is why comprehension skills are very necessary. I've never been on here and tried to get y'all to stop going abroad and paying for cootie cat. Never said it. As a matter of fact, there are people on here that are way harsher on that than me. I've never said don't travel and pay for the cootie cat. My main issue has always been the way that y'all are conducting yourselves online surrounding that. Just like the way that y'all are conducting yourselves, some of the activities that go on that can be seen as disrespect when y'all are going to these countries. My whole thing is just go do your business. Why does it have to be broadcasted, right? But I want to be very clear.
I agree with that. I want to
be very clear for those who are trying to paint me as a sex tourist. I'm not a sex tourist. I don't go looking for men to have sex with, nor would I ever have to do it. All I have to do is step my foot outside of my door and somebody is trying to sleep with me. And I'm avoiding these men. And when y'all do see me in relationship, it is a real relationship. It's not nobody that I'm paying to be with. It's not a situation where I'm trying to it's none of that weird shit. It's a normal relationship like I would have in the United States. And as a single woman, I'm allowed to have a boyfriend that I want. Okay, it's not the same thing as y'all traveling and paying for sex. It's just not.
Mariah, 1 second. At no point,
if you pay,
at no point had I ever mentioned in my thing paying for sex. I never said you was a sex tourist.
Well,
hold up. Let me I'll let you talk. Hold up.
Sleeping with all these men freely.
I never said that. So hold up. Let me speak.
The men are fine. That's what you tried to do.
You gonna let me speak, or you gonna overtalk me?
I'm gonna let you speak, but okay. I'm just saying, don't play in my face like that's not what you tried to do. Everybody heard you.
I'll repeat it a little slower so you understand.
You don't have to be so aggressive.
Let me say, I have a problem with men.
Hold on, hold on. Easy. 1 second. I just wanted to the audience. Can you hating ass niggas hit the like? We got like 100 people watching. We got 30 likes. That's disrespectful. If you niggas gonna hate on me, call me old, wish death on me, and all that good shit. Before I die, can I get half a like something? Because I ain't going nowhere no time soon, and I'm gonna drag you motherfuckers for filth forever. Give us a like, please. Continue.
Rico, I want my bottle of Henny before you pass.
I have a problem with.
You just speak the money. Yes, when you speak Spanish, I can go live wherever I want to live over here, and it's not gonna be no problem. I'm sorry.
I thought you were gonna let me speak. I let you speak. I never said anything about sex tours, nothing like that. I don't care about that. My problem is this: men, especially men, you'll say, "Oh, I want to just a different type of woman, not paying. I want to go somewhere where I can find a different type of woman. I want to find a good woman," and they always end up in the places where you could a hood chick. I'm like, brother, you could have stayed here and got a broke chick, a chick who's not educated. And this is you said not educated when you were saying over there. You can get a broke chick who's not educated here. You can get a broke chick who's not doing nothing here. You can get a broke chick who barely can speak the language or speaks very tigre over there. I know. I used to know people who live in Las Minas, all of that area. So I'm saying, why is it that you feel more comfortable to be amongst the hood when you over there? And I say it to guys also. I say, how do you go 2,000 miles to be more comfortable in hood? You're not upgrading, you're downgrading. And
It's all
hood, and
kind
hold
of
up,
people that live over here though.
and hood there is very different than hood here.
No,
It's
it's
even
really not. It's actually really not. The people over here, I keep saying this. This remind me of African American. You know what? Actually, it is. Let me tell you what's the difference in the hood here. It's actually, in my opinion, the hood here is way safer. You know why? These people get together on a Saturday or Friday night, go to Avenida España, or they might go to the mall, or they might sit outside, dance and drink, and don't nobody get shot. Don't nobody get shot, and they not gonna fight. They not doing none of that. They just outside chilling and enjoying themselves. So it's actually safer to chill in the hood here or go to a big event in the hood here. Furthermore, it's all type of people. Yes, in any type of hood, the majority of the people, they just going to work, drinking, and not really doing stuff with their life. But I've met quite a bit of people here who have their own businesses, are very astute. So Santo Domingo Este, even though it's the hood side of Santo Domingo, is very mixed. And you will find people who are business-minded, who are hustlers, and even if they're not that, they not on no BS. You can go hang around them and it's going to be cool. You're going to have a safe, fun time. So it is what it is. This is what I like. I'm having a good time. I ain't been in no danger. Everybody been cool. Everybody I've been around has been looking out. I ain't got gringo price. Not one time the entire time I've been over here. Everybody's been very kind and polite and professional with me. So I like it over here. And y'all are not going to convince me otherwise. Furthermore, I speak Spanish, so I can live where I want to live, honestly, and it's not going to be hard. I'm not going to be struggling. I don't got to go live on a side where you're more likely to find people that are English speakers. I don't need that on a day-to-day. So it is what it is.
And so I tell you the same thing I tell the guys. You're going to get what you're going to get. If you're going over there and that's what you like, and that's what you're comfortable with, it tells me more about you than it does about them.
Not here. You can try to shame me again. Here's the thing. It's a lot of y'all that y'all want to travel to a particular country and you don't necessarily have respect for the people. You gotta pick and choose. Would I go live in a place like this in Colombia? No, because you have the scopolamine and it's a whole different culture. What I'm telling you, because I'm over here and I see this culture, and again, because I speak Spanish, is not what you're making it out to be, but you're not hearing that. You want to bash and down something that you have not ever lived around, and even if you lived here, you would not have the cultural competence.
Man, let me break it down for you, because you don't know me. Lady, I used to live there. My wife is Dominican.
You said that from the start.
He
just said that from the start. His wife is from there. Come on, man. You always talking down to dudes. You seem like the type of woman. You're the type of woman who push men to leave the United States. That's what it is.
So here's the thing. Y'all think somebody care whenever y'all make the announcement. We are the reason why we leaving. Then nobody over there wants you anyway. The majority of y'all. So who give a fuck? Bye.
There we go. And if you hold up one second, you said I don't know the area. I used to have a house there. I used to live there. I just came from there. I was just there 6 months.
But you used to have a house to live there. So who? Again, what are we talking about here? Don't worry about me and my living situation.
I'm only going on you. What you just said is I don't know.
What you worried about what a bunch of men doing?
You just said I don't know the culture. You just said if I lived there where I would be. I'm letting you know. I know the culture. I've been going to DR.
You coming over here having a conversation with me about when you did the same thing. So it is what it is.
I got to pause everybody real quick. I just got a cash out for $10 for Yvette Simpson. So every comment you drop, I'm going to read it out. And I want to let Troy take over since Troy came in.
And hang on, before Troy come in, Fearless. Okay, because you've been going back and forth with Mariah for a little bit. We let it go. And again, I'm going to ask everybody respectfully, can you go at the sister one at a time? Because this is not, I don't allow to pile up shit.
You want to make it about me. It's a whole bunch of
Rico, stop it. You pile up on other people anytime you want to. Now all of a sudden, you acting like you the voice of civility. You're not the voice of civility. Stop it.
I see the future. Y'all was more concerned about me than all these other issues. Y'all want to keep making it about me. So it is what it is.
Mariah, hold on.
Let me do this.
This is what I said, Mariah.
Hold on,
I didn't.
I gotta read this comment because I got.
But you gotta let me sit there. We got a comment.
All right, and then Rico, you got it after this. Okay, in the Dominican Republic, those women be drugging guys too, but nobody is talking about that.
Okay, fine. So again,
the cash out, brother.
Look, I know the difference between men and women. I ain't about to let no bunch of men dogpile no fucking women. I'm not about to allow it, okay? So,
but she can say whatever she wants to with us.
I don't care if you feel like you got to dogpile a woman. This is not.
Ain't nobody dogpiling. People are reacting to what she's saying.
You heard me say that's why I'll let it be 1-to-1. I let feelings.
Somebody can say.
Hold on, Mariah.
One of the men could say the exact same thing I'm saying, and y'all will choose to focus that energy on me. And that's the problem. The men can say the same thing, and then y'all ain't hear what they say, and then y'all refocus that whole energy.
That's not true for me.
Hold on, Mariah.
You can ask Rico. I go back and forth for Rico. I go back and forth with Rico just about every week.
Well, then go back and forth with him right now.
Easy. Can y'all stop for a second?
Go ahead.
Again, like I sit there and said, she's valid in that point because a lot of the points she brought up, I brought up too. But I'm not saying that you don't go against me, but you don't say because I'm a man. You're saying
and then try to make personal attacks and then pretend you did it.
Rico, I have said to you more than once that because you're old and outdated, you have a certain view. Okay.
But I get that. I'm saying you can't make it a gender argument if both genders have the same argument. That's all I'm saying. So
Rico.
But you can't make it. No, listen. You can't make it a gender argument when one gender is blatantly being hypocritical. The man came up there and said, "Why are you staying in the hood?" He said, "Why are you staying in the hood when you could be staying in a nice area?" He said he would say the same thing to men.
Correct. Pussy as you want to, sir. I don't care. Keep saying that.
Miss, you're 50 years old. I don't want you. Nobody wants you.
Easy. Stop. You're being
disrespectful. The thing is, the way that y'all conduct yourself about it online is causing an international issue. My whole thing is just be quiet. Me staying in South Domingo is not bringing no heat on Americans. Y'all just want to nitpick my entire life.
I get what you're saying, Mariah. Just don't fall for the bait, Mariah.
You just be so dumb.
Don't fall for the bait, Mariah. Easy. Don't fall for the bait. I'm not talking about what the hood. I'm saying other points come up. So all I'm sitting there saying is we want it to be that if it's going to be a discussion, it's 1-to-1, not 3-to-1 or 4-to-1. Troy, you take over. Nobody talks but fucking Troy because everybody else had a chance to speak but him. Please.
Nigga, I run this. I'm Michael Jackson. You
ain't running it, nigga. That's the problem. You bald-headed, goofy motherfucker. You ain't running it. Troy, go.
Childish behavior in the Dominican Republic with special guest Mariah Sincere. What's up, panel?
We was talking about NYC the future and all the stupid shit he's doing, and we was talking about why we need to really push against that. And that's what we was talking about. And do you think he's going to lose this channel? Do you think he's going to fall off, Troy?
No, I don't think he's going to lose his channel. He's going to fall off. He's got a following. There's a lot of people that think just like him. So, he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, he got
people pay him to do silly shit. He'll crash out. Like I think I watched a video one time. They paid him $60. And he can't swim and he jumped in a pool. So he's willing to do anything for some money. So it's just like when Mello was hot. Mello had to see how you had to keep doing dumb shit to stay relevant. So
right.
Mello knew he had he got a lot of views and some money because he was getting physical with women. So what did he do? He went to Kenya and got physical with women. So it's just part of catch. And now that it's going to eventually get corny.
Has Rello fell off, or is he?
I mean, you haven't seen him traveling anywhere lately.
But you don't see him on YouTube anymore?
I haven't seen him.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually you have to crash. If you're a crash out, you have to keep crashing out. So can you afford to keep crashing out?
Yeah. Hey, Mr. G, I see you in the back. I once somebody come down, I'll bring you back up, brother. But yeah, I just don't understand how people keep sending people money, and we know he has. He said he was in the hotel with a minor. He said he was in the hotel with the minor.
He said he was in the hotel with the minor.
Yeah, and they said, did you have sex with her? Hey man, come on, bro, come on with the bullshit.
He didn't say no. He didn't say no. He didn't say no.
Why are you even in the hotel with a minor?
Exactly. Yeah. So, but the crazy part about it is his channel gonna still keep thriving, as you said.
Because listen, what did we learn from Floyd? We learned that there are people that are just like Floyd that will fund Floyd for what Floyd was doing.
So right? He can do something stupid, so he can crash.
So it's people that are just like NYC the Future that are going to will fund NYC the Future to keep doing NYC the Future things.
It's niggas that will fund them to fuck on kids too.
Yeah, it's niggas that's with that. It's niggas that's with that.
That's what I'm saying. But nobody want to sit there and say the elephant in the room. There are people in this space the same way we got motherfucking creeps in the U.S. They get passports and they travel.
Rico, you got that screenshot where you infiltrated send that.
Yeah, I ain't infiltrate nobody because I don't like these fuck niggas. But the fact of the matter is that again, this is not an. I'll share it, but go ahead, keep talking. This is not unusual.
But I think like I think the concern for me is like when we don't move as like a collective, right? We don't think that what we do affects all of us. So I'm always cognitive, like, hey, what I'm gonna do is going to affect my parents. It's going to affect the people I went to school with. It's going to affect the people that I served in the military with. So I'm like, so like I'm cognitive of that. I can't be out here acting stupid. I know it reflects poorly on my mother, it reflects poorly on my father, my brother, and my sister. It reflects poorly on us. So when, as a black American, what I do is going to affect the younger generation of black Americans that come over here. I don't want them to have a stigma that, oh man, well, this person likes to fool with young girls, or this person is rude. When we was in the military, used to tell us when we go out, they like, don't be an ugly American, right? That was the stigma of us around the world, that we're just assholes and we act ugly when we're in public. So they told us, they would give us safety briefings before we went out, like, hey, look, don't do this, because you're representing what? You're representing the United States of America. So everybody doesn't have that. They don't have that in them. We call it military bearing. They don't have military bearing. So when they go overseas, it's a free-for-all. It's like, fuck it.
But I think personally, and I'm not trying to make fun of him, I think the dude is special needs. And people
you know what? He may be special needs.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mariah. What you say? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I've been saying he's slow. He is slow. Y'all can't tell. Y'all can't tell he's special needs. Dudes like that in the hood used to always. I like that's an archetype. Dudes like that in the hood always used to try to mess with young girls. Like I seen 1,000,001 slow dudes probably was drinking lead in the water, slow, everything, and they was walking around always trying to mess with the teenage girls in the neighborhood. That is a normal occurrence. So when I heard this stuff between him and Future, it was like, yeah, he fit the stereotype. Like he's slow. He's slow. Like y'all can't see that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can see that. I can go ahead, Troy.
I can tell he's not college educated. So
if he's not slow, he's right on that borderline of a 75 IQ. Yeah. I promise you, his IQ ain't no higher than 85. Yeah. Because people, like Rico said, I watched Razor Ray, and people were making fun of him and clowning him, and he thought they were supporting him. I was like, damn, this, you don't understand that they make.
You know what? But when you start to understand algorithms and how YouTube and how the internet works, even when somebody's clowning you, it's all going to drum up interaction. So if they're clowning him in the comments, it's drumming up interaction. It's giving him more followers.
I've seen him on live. Yeah. I've seen him on lives physically talking like me and you talking, clowning them and making fun of him. So I see it. So Fearless, do you want to comment on what's going on with that situation?
Yeah, there's two parts I've seen to it, and this is this goes back. So first, I'll address this with Mariah. When I first came on, I only used you as an example because of what you have posted on your social media. Say the same thing to God. I said, I don't know how you travel to go to one place, especially when they go to Sosua. And then they think Sosua is a representative of the entire country. Or I say the same, like, why would you go to a place and I'll tie this into NYC, the future. They go to poor areas because low-hanging fruit, and they know that usually those type of women are in desperate need of money. And when they're in desperate need of money, they can manipulate them. When I listen to the story, even though I am faulting him, the more the story went on, I'm starting to think that maybe the parents also may have been involved. Meaning you don't let a foreigner just come
Lucy
into
said
your
the
house.
parents didn't know. Lucy told me when I interviewed her on my channel that the parents didn't even know what happened. They just went together.
She said that he stayed in their house, so the parents had no something that's going on.
No, he didn't. I don't know who made that up, but I did a whole interview with Lucy on my last live. She said that NYC the Future never lived with them. I don't know where they're getting this from. Okay, so I interviewed her in her language. I interviewed her in Spanish. So
Mariah, yesterday.
I'm telling you what Lucy said. Like, what are you
Mariah,
talking about?
Hold up. You got to listen. Yesterday, my wife just interviewed Lucy on Andre's show, and she was translating for her. Andre brought Lucy on her show, and she was the translator, and that's what she said yesterday. I'm telling you,
well, Lucy said on my channel that he never lived with her, and that the parents did not know that that girl went to go sell cat.
I saw both of the lives, and both of y'all are right because he did switch the story up. So both of y'all are right.
So I'm only going on what I seen yesterday, and from yesterday she said he knew. So my thing is, if you're letting someone into your home, he's a foreigner, there has to be some kind of expectation that you're going to help, especially if you don't have any, if you're not in any funds. Now that does not in any way condone his behavior, but it lets me know that's why guys gravitate to those areas, because they can manipulate and they do that, especially if they have any type of funds. So what he did, I think, was very wrong. And I think I have it right here.
Gotcha. Hey, easy. What easy still up?
Repeat that.
I can't hear you.
So what you got? Comment on the sorry Joker that's been going through what he's been going through, because I know you had a lot to say to Mariah, but I want you to comment on that sorry bastard NYC the Future.
If the dude admitted to messing with an underage chick, I said this from before. That's fucked up. It's wrong. He should be called out for that shit. And I even said that back in the day, somebody like that would have got hands put on him. So I don't know. I mean,
stay there, Coach. Don't move off that comment. Go ahead.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know what else to say. Anybody who's supporting him is fucked up too, because all they're doing is saying that it's all right. It's fucked up. You shouldn't be fucking with underage chicks. Like, there's plenty of women out here.
The thing that Troy said, people, and I don't know about this, but I'm kind of believing him. They want to see people do nasty, stupid stuff out here in the world. That's why they send.
But listen, we just saw the Epstein file.
I used to be a social
the whole
worker,
Epstein teacher that.
It's a whole dark side of the underworld that you don't even you wouldn't even believe.
You're right.
Doctors, police officers, judges. It's a whole spectrum, a whole underground network.
That's not.
But Troy,
that's not even a social. That's not to me. That's not limited to socioeconomic class, honestly and truly. And another thing too that y'all have to know, especially in places like even in places like Colombia, a lot of times these upper to middle class or even rich people
Coach, and leave
will offer their dollars to the highest bidder. They do that kind of stuff. So that's not necessarily something that I would say that's not even something that's more prevalent in poor communities, I would say the higher you get on the socioeconomic spectrum, the darker the shit get.
Remember what Pam Bondi. Remember before you think. Remember what Pam Bondi. Remember what Pam Bondi said about the Epstein files. She said, "If we go after and we release what happened, the whole thing is going to come down. The whole system is going to crumble if we release who was in those files." And what she was trying to say is, the president is in the files. We all know that, but not just him. People that are in power are in the files. And if they, I'm telling you,
President Clinton.
Right? Yeah, of course.
That too. Yeah, Clinton too. Yeah.
Can I pause
you
guys for a second?
A lot of powerful people get off on hurting children.
Right. I want to pause and I want you to focus in on this, Troy. In particular, leave that comment up.
Read it.
I'm gonna read it. I don't know who this guy or girl is. Kai Wynn Franklin. Read the comment. The comment says,
dang, I feel for
that brother. We all know who Floyd is. We all know who Floyd is. We all know what Floyd was accused of. And what I'm sitting there saying is, when I see a comment like that, I don't know you, Kai Wynn Franklin. I ain't gonna say nothing one way or the other. But I'm lost on, as a man, as a father, as a grandfather, as a black man, why so much empathy for the perpetrator of such a vile, despicable crime and not the victims? Because if we know the people that he's accused of, give that a second, the people that he's accused of violating, the people he was accused of violating was a 6-year-old girl. So I'm sitting there trying to figure out is, why do we have empathy for the credibly accused violator who basically, by my all estimations, if he did what he's accused
please don't say we, because I have no empathy for him.
I'm speaking in general, okay? This is a general statement. Because see, when people, see, this is what I'm saying, is when we're in these spaces and people chat shit like this and say shit like this lets me know that you're in community with Floyd. Floyd is credibly accused of violating and damn near, for my all intents and purposes, killing a 6-year-old child. Not physically killing her, but if he did what is as described, she might as well be dead. 6, and her mother sold her? Go back to the comment, coach, because you're running from this shit. This is the shit that we need to talk about. This is what we need to talk about, because see, we dismiss it and we blow past it. And this is why I say why fucking Future will be still supported.
Thank you, Bob.
Motherfuckers support this shit. You asked me that dumbass question. Here's my fucking evidence why he will be okay. We don't even have the evidence of fucking Future being with a 6-year-old. Floyd is locked up in Brazil, credibly accused of fucking raping a 6-year-old child, and these niggas don't care. They don't fucking care. It's more of these fucking monsters in the space that will do the same thing that Floyd would do if, at a minimum, they'll support, because he was sending out fucking child porn. And you
listen, that's disgusting. It needs to be called out. It needs to be called out.
Easy. Let me.
I want to know what this dude got to say for himself.
Right. All I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, when you're in these spaces and you're walking around in these communities, and you don't tell me to calm down. The bottom line is, this man is credibly accused, credibly, not just some old made up shit. And then y'all are sitting there telling me you have empathy for someone who did that, because guess what? By my recollection, if he did it in Brazil, the motherfucker did it in the U.S. He just didn't get caught in the U.S. Or he would come back to the U.S. and do it if he get out. So now I don't want him to ever see the light of fucking day. I don't care if the mother sold her or not. I don't want him to ever see sunlight, because he's so fucked in the head based on what he's credibly accused of. If he ever gets out, he will do it to someone else's child. You motherfuckers don't have no empathy for anybody, and something's wrong with this space. That's the issue.
You see what he got. You see how he got.
Rico, I'm not going to defend this dude, or I'm not going to defend Floyd. The only thing, so I'm going to try to help this guy out when he say Phil. I interviewed Floyd, and
Before
Floyd,
or after he was accused?
this was before.
Okay.
And you know that Floyd is mentally
Special needs. He special needs too.
But that's it. We can't keep.
no. So let me finish, Rico. So it's not that when
Okay.
I say I feel when I'm just so get me. Don't put me in the same category. So I'm just gonna
You know,
say
I'm
something.
waiting. I'm waiting to get on your ass. But go
When a
ahead.
person say I feel, what I think is there's more people involved. Floyd is a part of it, but they should really be going after the other people also.
Fine.
He kind of off, and what he did is crazy and off. And I think maybe some other people used him to get what they wanted because of his in the capabilities. It does not condone what he did. I'm not condoning it.
Fearless, but I haven't heard anybody in the space say, I've not heard a single person in the space show empathy, concern, or care for the victims.
And I agree. That is
all throughout, whether it's Floyd, whether it's NYC.
Rico,
these are
I get what you're saying.
These are not victimless.
Rico, I get what you're saying now.
No one.
And I feel you on it. I feel what you listen. I feel what you're saying. Like, how can anybody who knows this dude not feel offended that they knew somebody who was doing this? He'd be like, "Yo, bro, you're gonna have to hold this. You're gonna have to get."
Just think about the victims. That's it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get this.
The problem is, Rico, is and it's not that we don't care about the victims. I think because they just become anonymous, and you don't have a face or something or a story to go with it. It just
a victim there.
Yeah.
They're anonymous to me. When I heard 6-year-old, I want to kill that motherfucker.
And everybody, I mean, anybody with a soul would want to do the same thing. I just think because it's just like this. You were in the war. When you say, "Oh, 1,000 people died over there," when you don't have a face to put with it, you just say, "Oh, that's 1,000 people." And so I think that because they have not showed anyone, or you don't have a person, we don't have that one person to say, "Oh man, I have a face to put with as a victim." You know, we can say with Floyd, we have a face to say he's a predator, and we can condone him. We just don't have that person to say, "Hey, that's that victim."
I've seen whole Mariah, your number one nemesis, did a whole fucking video. Y'all can't attack him yet. I've seen motherfucking content creators do whole live streams and videos saying, I swear to God, your number one, I'm not even gonna mention that fuck nigga name, Mariah. You know who I'm talking about? HH. Did a whole video defending him. I'm not.
What you understand is this.
Saying we're rushing to judgment and all this other shit. So I'm saying I've seen the evidence of people in defense.
Yeah,
same thing with Future, and it's like, well, we're the people crying out for the victims. No one says nothing about the victims, but motherfuckers are in this space crying out for the offenders.
Here's the thing. What you have to understand is this too. Okay, so first of all, let me say this. I do want to say this, and I did take note of this when I was watching Razor Ray's panel. When Future came on there and all that. And what I do want to say, and I've said this a couple times on my channel, I actually was very proud of the men in the travel space, because I would say they weren't going. I would say I did see them jumping down Future's throat. The vast majority was not going. They was calling it out. Now, I think you do have a point in saying that he has a core base of supporters that will probably continue to support him, even if it's on the low, anonymously. There are ways to support somebody without, for example, just sending a Cash App or a PayPal. There are ways to continue to support somebody without being known. And the fact of the matter in the Floyd situation is we don't know who he was selling this content to, right? And it is very possible that Brazil, because people are like, well, Brazil needs to release more information. If their desire is to prosecute these men on their soil, then it would serve them best to hold that close to the chest so that these men feel comfortable enough to go to Brazil and they just arrest them on the low. That's what I would do if I was working in law enforcement. I wouldn't be putting anything out, right? Furthermore, here's the thing. In some situations, and this is not to defend HH, because I think he's a complete misogynist and a disgusting person, just in general. And I think a lot of it could be one of two things. A lot of the men, they know they went abroad and done their dirt. So they're trying to show grace and get ahead of the situation. But then I think there are legitimate reasons to try to
get as much of the story as possible before you come to your judgment. So I remember when I was watching the live between with Razor Rays and the whole situation with NYC The Future, and when I was reviewing it, I stopped and took a moment to say this because it does need to be said. And I never thought I would say this because I'm the type of person who I try to believe the victims. Latin America is a whole different kind of place. And you don't know that until you come here, because there are literally, for the right amount of money, people who will say anything, right? And that is such a terrible thing to say, but it's also a very true thing to say. So you do have to be very careful. But I do believe in this situation with NYC The Future, you have to use your common sense. This is not the first time that he's been accused of this, right? This is like the third time this is coming up. Not only that, you do have to be silent. Any man who will go right at 18, right? So that's working against you because you're 40 years old and you're even just willing to mess with an 18. You're willing to go right up on that line, right? So that's going to work against you. It's the fact that even Lucy looked too young for you to be trying to put on a live stream. It's all of these things working in conjunction to make you look at this man and say, yes, it's more likely that you did this. And then on top of that, here's the thing. A lot of y'all don't want to accept this, but it's the reality of the matter. The more sexual deviance that you insert yourself into, right, the more likely people are to not put certain stuff past you. The more that you have a lustful spirit and because lust is something that you cannot feed lust. So the more that you're engaged in that type of lifestyle, the least of the benefit of the doubt. You might have a certain point that you won't go past, right? But you have to understand, in the court of public opinion, when they hear certain things, they don't be as surprised. Versus somebody who maybe doesn't engage in sex tourism or hasn't been accused of any of these things previously, and they've never seen date somebody significantly younger than them, somebody's going to be more willing to give that person the benefit of the doubt or take pause or, try to consider all the evidence, versus with somebody like NYC The Future, that's an easy, I believe he did that shit.
But Mariah,
let me read his comment. I got to read the comment. Look, Rico, the unfortunate facts are their parents were probably involved too.
The parents were involved, Desmond, 100%. That still doesn't excuse it anyway. All I'm sitting there saying is, my issue is, it's not about who was involved, who wasn't involved. My issue is in the space. We're talking particularly about the travel space, the passport pro space, whatever you want to call it. This knee-jerk reaction to defend, no matter what. So we know, come on, you even know, there is some creep motherfuckers out there. So if somebody threw a charge on Coach, I ain't gonna jump out the window and defend this shit. I'm be like, I don't know. I'm gonna be what I don't. My problem is I would expect more people to fall back in silence, because you don't. Yeah. If there's no credible evidence to say they did it, there's also no credible evidence to say that they didn't do it. And you kind of make yourself look crazy, especially if it comes out after the fact that it's proven they did it, and you jumped out there with your whole fucking chest trying to defend it. I'm like, then nigga, I gotta put the jacket on you. You out here defending PDFs. Maybe that's some shit. That's how people. I'm just saying how people's mind will go to that place, and then you can be like, well, I didn't know. It's like, yeah, but you shouldn't have been jumping out the window to defend it, because, like you said, you didn't know. If you don't know, fall back and shut the fuck up, because you don't know.
Better.
I do understand the fact, though. I will agree with Mariah on this, because this happens in the DR. With an accusation, I've seen guys go down on a motorcycle, and once they find out the driver's an American, it's like the Dominicans just group together, even if it wasn't his fault. They group together because they found some way that they're going to exploit the situation. So I can't say that would happen with Floyd, but sometimes when someone foreign gets accused, we do have to pause and say, what's the rest of the story? Because a lot of times you're in a foreign place, and they,
But Fearless, you shouldn't jump out the window and say they didn't do it. They're making it up, shit like that.
I agree with what you said. No defending. Wait till the evidence comes out. I want to. Because it made me think, like when I travel, and this, I'm not Floyd, but I travel with like my drone, my cameras, all of that. And I was like, well, what does that mean? He had cameras. Okay. So it makes you think, I want to see the evidence.
But the shit that they sat there and said, and we all saw the hand puppets.
All that weird.
When I say evidence, I'm not talking about Floyd.
No,
I know Floyd kind of different. Floyd is out there. I'm evidence and regular.
Right. So what
Floyd
I'm saying
is never a problem.
And now prior to that, and all that information coming out, people were going to the mat for Floyd. People were going to the mat defending Floyd. Floyd had people forget Floyd. Floyd ain't a passport bro. He had a fucking channel called Mr. Passport Bro. He was Austin Holloman's number 2. He was the creme de la creme of passport bros. That's why they literally, Brazil, after he got busted, it was easy for them to paint the passport bro as a criminal organization because they're like, we got this whole dude that we got all this evidence of messing with children. Then they get the mama who admitted she's selling them. They got the cab driver who said he drove them to them. So they got a lot of evidence. I'm like, anybody in their right fucking mind jumping out here doing a whole lot to defend Floyd. I'm like, you are very stupid or something is fucking wrong with you.
But Rico, they just looking for the crash out. Those are the same people looking for the crash out. We talked about that on our show. When they send the dude over there and tell him to do stupid stuff, they watch for the crash out.
Right. But you defending this. Oh, I'm like, there's enough evidence that guess what? You should sit this one out. I'm not saying to say he's guilty because I never said it. I personally believe he is.
I would have said
I'm not gonna go on a tirade, but I'm certainly not gonna tell nobody he's fucking innocent. I'm like, that nigga look guilty.
And I can also understand too if somebody was your friend, and I can understand the shock, especially if you didn't see the sign. Now, some of these men be seeing the signs, they just be ignoring the signs. Like, for example, I came on here and told a story before. Okay, so the first group of passport bros that I met in Cartagena, they told me that they had a friend. I'm not gonna say his name. This never made it to the news, but I know these men are in WhatsApp groups, and like I know for a fact, right? But they don't do content. But they had a friend who in Cartagena, they said every time they would go out to the clock tower, he was always find the youngest chicks. Like, and then not only would they be the youngest chicks, but they ain't really had no type of body on them like that. So they're like, why he always? Because these dudes are like, at this time, late 30s, early 40s. They're like, why he don't never get no grown women? You know, like. So anyway, they went over to his apartment, you know, because he wasn't answering the phone, and the portero was like, yeah, y'all not gonna see him no more. They went up to his apartment. All of his stuff was still there. Like, they didn't even bother to rob him. Come to find out, the people that run Cartagena snatched him up because he was in the neighborhoods trying to find children, right? So they snatched him up, never to be seen again. But I said that to say, like, a lot of the men, y'all be seeing some weird stuff from y'all homies, but y'all just kind of brush it off like that's kind of weird. And it's like, you have to go with your gut. And that's why I say it's certain behaviors that people do or engage in, or certain proclivities that they have that you just gotta know that come with weird stuff. Like, and I don't think people take those warning signs seriously enough.
Yeah,
I'll say this: if you friends with somebody, I can understand not wanting to jump and say they did it. But if one of these men was my homeboys, I probably would have stopped being friends with them a long time ago because you do too much weird stuff. And me as a real grown person, like I wouldn't even hang out with a woman at 33. If I'm not, none of my friends would date an 18-year-old. Like I don't even want to hang. And then if I found that out, I'd be like, you was a weird bitch, right? But not even this. I probably would have backed up from him a long time ago. But then when the accusations come back, I think as a friend, I can understand the friend being like, I'm just going to be quiet and let it unfold before I jump on the story. I get that. But to come out defending, to me, that's wild behavior.
But see, the problem is, Mariah, what you're looking at it is with a sane mind. You're looking at it like a logical person. The people who follow the Floyds, the J. Rillos, those aren't the logical people. I mean, when someone comes on and says, I'm trapped in DR, the airport, and I need some money, and you're thinking, how did you get over there with no money? And they still support him to go there. Or with Floyd, Floyd was such an incel that he was the superhero to other incels. So those incels are the ones who support him, who say, oh man, I can be mentally slow, not aesthetically pleasing, not the most cleanest guy, and I can go somewhere else just like Floyd. They live vicariously through those people. So those are the people who support. So when you say, hey, back off, it's hard to back off. You can, because you're thinking like a logical person. But you're talking about the people who are not logical.
Hold on, Fearless. We want to share something. I'm going to share something that this is why I say Floyd ain't going to have no problem, because there are a lot more motherfuckers in the space. Because this is some shit that was sent to me in one of the groups. You see it, Coach? Just share it.
Which one?
I just did share.
Okay.
Now take down his comment so we can see what they said. Take Des Smith comment off.
Oh shit.
Take Des Smith comment off so we can see what they said.
I'm trying.
Just click on his comment. Just click on his comment again. It'll unhighlight so they can see the shit that motherfucker said. Okay.
18 years old. She's ready to wow.
And y'all see the heart. And y'all see, right? This is what goes on in this space.
Weird niggas.
This is what's in this space. So why would fucking Floyd have a problem?
Yeah, not at all. Yeah, it's just kind of like y'all remember that girl Bad Baby who she made the day she turned 18 and got on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that girl Bad Baby? I think the day she turned 18 and got on OnlyFans, like they was waiting on her to turn 18. She made like $1 million, over $1 million.
Here's the crazy part about it, Mariah. Listening to that language, that's not somebody 25 or 30. That's somebody 40 or 50. Licking their fucking lips, waiting for her to hit that number so they can sit there and jump between her thighs. That is the space. Yeah. That's some fucking nigga from Miami.
And I knew this being a young girl that age, them type of middle-aged men just sniffing like sharks. They sniffing you out waiting.
No, she's not in Miami. That's a motherfucker from Miami that put her out there, POV. That she's in the DR.
Yeah.
Okay. So stop playing like y'all don't know motherfuckers in the space do this shit on a regular.
Yeah, because everybody should have been like, that's weird. This kind of stuff should get you kicked out. It shouldn't be, oh, well, she legal. Like, what? This is so weird to me.
They
like,
do this
what?
shit on regular. This is the space where y'all say, oh, you generalize it. This is why I generalize. It's not everybody. It's too fucking many. This is what I say. It's not everybody. It's too fucking many. I don't know what the number is. I don't know what the percentage is. It could be 10, 15, 20%. That's too fucking many. That's all I'm saying.
Sharks who were funding your lifestyle. Sir, I wasn't stripping when I was 18. Let's be very clear. I didn't start stripping. Hold on, let me address this comment. I didn't start dancing until I was 24 years old. Let's be very clear. I didn't start dancing until I was 24 years old. At 18, I was not around no older, men, none of that. I wasn't around none of that. Now, I had to deal with that shit, living in my neighborhood, having to fight the wolves off. But I was never 18 years old. Between the ages of 18 and I guess you could say 18 till 24. No, these men were not, older men were not funding my lifestyle. I never had a boyfriend that was significantly older than me. I've always dated in my age range. But by the time I went to the strip club, I was a fully grown woman and my brain was developed enough to where I didn't get into a lot of the stupid stuff a lot of these 18-year-olds. And that's what I'm saying. It is a difference. Y'all act like it's not. Them girls that were 18 years old, they was coming to work, getting high every day, getting drunk every night because they didn't know how to, you know why they was getting drunk every night? They was drinking every night because they knew what they were willing to go in there and do or do after the club if they didn't make the money. I was mature enough to have the mindset, if I take a loss tonight, that's okay. I can come back. These girls had the mentality of, I can't take no losses. You know why? Because they young, dumb, and materialistic. So their mindset was they would do dumb shit. Like if you dance, you never have to sell coochie at this time when the economy is good, not now. But when the economy is good, you make enough money just off of entertaining in the club that you never have to let anybody touch you inappropriately, or you never have to go let somebody, you know, sell coochie. What it is these young girls, they start buying designer bags. I never owned a designer bag the whole time I was dancing, and I never moved in an apartment downtown, and I never drove a luxury car. Okay, that I knew not to do that, so I didn't have to be desperate, right? But these girls are young, they start making dumb financial decisions. They don't know how to say no. I remember there was this young girl that came in there one night. We was in the dressing room, and she was like, "Y'all, this guy started putting, you know, I don't know how to say, if I can say it, but he put his fingers where he shouldn't have put it." And she said she just froze and didn't say anything because she didn't know if we're supposed to let them do it or not. And I had to turn around, me being an older person, and tell her, "Girl, first of all, it don't matter what the club say. You don't got to let them do nothing." Right? This is not your job. You here to dance, girl. But furthermore, like, always say, no, you don't have to let them do it. But these young girls come into these situations with these grown men, and they don't know how to handle themselves. Versus me, I was 24 when I came. Wasn't nobody handling me. Period.
Hey, Mariah, hang on a second. Go up one comment, Coach, because I do want to address this. Go up. Okay. I don't know who this is. Den Meyer, Flirty. I don't know who the fuck this is. But, of course, you make a statement. Billions of humans.
Read it, Rico.
I'm reading it, motherfucker. I can read. Billions of humans, all ain't gonna be right, old man. You dreaming if you think it won't happen. My comment is you got it twisted. My comment is I think that as a society, we come to a space. So you make it seem like there are more bad people than good people in the world. I think there are more good people than bad people in the world. I think what the problem is in the world is more good people choose not to say anything. They choose to remain silent in the face of evil. It's not that I don't think that if the world was more evil than good, we'd all be fucked. We'd be fucked, done, and dead. I think there's more good people than bad people, but people choose to be apathetic, choose not to get involved in shit. They don't want to be bothered. They don't want to get into shit.
It's the same thing with police.
Right. Stop jumping the comments.
There's more good police than there are bad police, but
right.
The good police don't say shit.
Don't say shit when the bad police do something. Go back up to the comments.
Yes, Miss Mariah, if it's legal, it's legal. You don't have to agree with. You're right. I don't have to agree with. But switch this topic out and then put slavery in its place.
Right. So what
the legal thing is not always the moral thing, and that's what I'm saying. I'm always very leery of people who don't have their own internal moral compass when it comes to certain things, especially when we talk about things regarding sex. I worked with I've been the somewhat older 20-something-year-old working with them 18-year-old young girl. They move different. These girls do not think with common sense, good sense. It's not the same as they were nowhere near making the same decisions that the 25-year-olds would make. And then the problem is some of those girls have been in that stuff so long. I work with some girls that have been in the club since they were 16, 17, because the club hired them as a runaway. Well, guess what? They've been living that life, selling coochie, letting men use and abuse them, not setting boundaries for so long, getting caught up in that material lifestyle, doing drugs. A lot of them girls they get older and they just stuck on stupid even when they older. A lot of them girls end up overdosing. They get into such that. So that's why I'm particularly passionate about it. When y'all try to act like it's nothing for these young girls to be involved. That's why in the state of Texas now you can't even work in a strip club unless you're 21, right? But when y'all try to act like it's no difference mentally between an 18-year-old and a 25-year-old, I can emphatically say it's a big freaking huge difference, and getting involved with certain things too soon can change the trajectory of their life.
Let me address this, Mariah. So again, I'm gonna go back to however the fuck you say your name. I don't know. I didn't make it seem that way. You telling me it's a tiny minority. One, you don't even know what percentage it is. I said I don't know what percentage it is, and stop acting like it's even 1% of men. I don't know. First of all, we're talking about a subset of men. We're talking about a subset of men in the travel space. Don't move it, Coach. that travel. Okay, that's what we're talking about. I'm telling you, there are way too many men in this subset that have an unnatural fucking desire or resistance to get the youngest of possible women they can. I don't think most men in the larger society want to be out here dating 18-year-olds. I think there is it is a subset it's a subset of men who travel, who claim they travel for women, and then they travel with the objective to get as young as possible. And it is a higher percentage within that group. And the reason why I sit there and I point it out, because I don't care if it's 1%, it could be 3%, it could be 2%. I don't give a fuck what the percentage is. Every time we ignore it, that's harm that we let go on in a community, whether it's in the U, because them same motherfuckers that are creep on them young girls in the DR and Colombia is gonna creep on them young girls back home in the US. Whether it be your sister, your cousin, the same motherfuckers. So again, you make these lame ass arguments. Again, I showed you evidence. I showed you a fucking demonstrable evidence of somebody saying this shit, and you want to sit there and you want to deny it and go, "Oh, it's only 1%." I don't give a fuck if it's one person. You don't see anything wrong with it is the issue. And what happens is you all look the other way when it's right in your fucking face. When you will see, because I've sat here with Coach. When he's like, "Oh, them 60-year-old white men with them young black girls," I don't give a fuck. It's not right.
It's not right. Yeah, and my whole thing is people try to make it seem like when I say these things, it's just the age gap thing, right? Oh, you just don't like age gap relationships or men dating younger women. There's a way to do everything. It's not just the age gap. It's the bruh. Do you have to go so damn young? I ain't got no problem with 25 and 40, right?
Mariah, let's tell Desmond again. Fucking slavery was traditional. You say don't confuse tradition with fucking morality. Slavery was traditional. Can we go back to that? Can we go back to slavery? Because that was traditional. That was fucking traditional. See, this is the dumb shit you motherfuckers argue. Don't confuse slavery with, and the reason why we outlaw slavery because it was immoral, not because it was untraditional. It was fucking traditional. It was immoral. No,
and what y'all don't understand too, if you follow the legislation in a lot of these countries, they are trying to do better because they've seen the negative societal consequences. Are they caught up to the United States? No. If you go back like 150 years, it used to be legal to marry children in the United States. It's not anymore. Last year, Colombia raised the legal age. Wait, hold on real quick. Last year, Colombia raised the legal age of marriage finally to 18, right? And that's across the board, no exception. So it's not like the people in these places don't view that type of behavior as a problem. It's that everything, they're just moving slower and things are working their way through the legal systems. But there are huge numbers in these countries of people who don't agree with it, and they will put you 6 feet under if they see you conducting certain behavior. And this happens in Colombia quite regularly, where they will cut these men up into pieces and spread their body parts across the city.
Yeah, the Jewish guy got caught out there, right?
The Jewish guy get caught out there? They chopped him up. Yeah, and they chopped him in Colombia and Bogota. They chopped him up and rolled him into a body bag, into a blue blanket, and put him in the closet. And then people will say, well, in Colombia, they date older men with younger women and this and that. But y'all have to understand the culture in Colombia is changing as well. And the younger generations are not agreeing with this kind of stuff.
And the reason why we're saying this is because y'all gonna sit there and listen to these stupid motherfuckers. You're gonna push the envelope and you're gonna be the next motherfucker rolled up in a rug in somebody's closet. You're gonna be the next one in the closet rolled up in a fucking rug, believing that you can do the stupid shit that these motherfuckers are telling you can do when you just sit there. If you just move on your own moralities of where you come, well, maybe some of you motherfuckers don't have those morals in the United States. So maybe that's my mistake. My mistake is believing that most of you motherfuckers have moralities from the US where you see that it's wrong. But maybe y'all don't. And if you don't, I can't help you. I just hope they roll your ass up in the mat and drop your ass in a fucking in a tub of fucking boiling oil. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but my point is the morality in these countries is shifting, and that's what y'all don't see. Even in Santa Marta last year, they did the same thing to a white guy. He was traveling from Europe that they did to that man in Bogota, right? And a lot of the stories in Colombia never make the news, depending upon who put the hit out, right? But what y'all have to understand is this. Even in Dominican Republic, it's not uncommon to me when you tell the jokes about, oh, the Dominican man with the 2 or 3 families. When you meet the younger generation of Dominican men, it's not uncommon for them to feel like laugh, but then be like, bro, that's not me. I don't believe in having all them families. I just have my one girl, and be so for real. You know, like, it's a lot changing and shifting culturally in a lot of these places. They're just a little bit slower to catch up on certain things.
But it happens in their country too. I mean, I know a baseball player. I think his name was Wander Franco.
Yep, we talked about it.
Yep, where he was with the younger lady, and the mom was supporting or exploiting, however you want to look at it.
Yep.
That situation. So.
Yep.
It's happening in America
in their country.
Right now.
And he should have been thrown into jail. He should be in jail right now.
It's prevalent in America right now. You got this whole state called Utah that has Mormons that are been doing this since I don't know when. Nah, they've been doing this forever, man. So it happens worldwide.
But morally, it's wrong. And then the thing is guys, if we keep pushing the conversation like that, like, oh, it's happening everywhere else. You tell me all the time, Troy, they're not giving us grace in the DR. So if we go in the DR and what's happening? See how that fucking excuse gonna hold up in the DR. That's what I'm saying. So we need to move like and talk like it ain't happening in the US or nowhere else. And it's reprehensible because that's your safety mechanism. If you think you arguing it, Floyd is in Brazil arguing it right now while somebody's hitting that bussy. Okay? He argued, but they do it here and they do it there and they do it here and they do it there. They don't give a fuck. You ain't them. Let's be crystal clear about that. You ain't them. They're not going to cut you no slack. The U.S. ain't going to give a fuck. Do you think the U.S. government is down there arguing for them to release Floyd based on the information?
Hell no.
And here's the thing. If you don't believe it's credible, you know how I know it's credible? Because the U.S. consulate had to meet with him and they asked for evidence to see what the charges were. They've seen it. And they said, oh, shit, just don't kill a nigga and walk back.
Yeah.
Don't kill a nigga, please, and walk back. They've seen the evidence of what he's charged with. So they not about to tell them, let this nigga out.
And they ain't nobody putting their name on that either.
No.
I like what Kywin Franklin said. He said age gap is one thing, age Grand Canyon is another. And that's what I'm saying. Them the people that you should be side-eyeing, the people that don't mind the age Grand Canyon. That's excessive. It's doing too much.
Mm-hmm. And again,
y'all really serious about cleaning up the travel space and catching things? Yeah, y'all need to be side-eyeing them.
Denmark, you sitting here like it's funny. Nobody worried about Black Americans. We good. We ain't even gonna tell you about the instance of racism that we had to deal with a couple of weeks ago. We ain't gonna tell you about. See, again, y'all always say this dumb shit, and I get that you're in the DR. I'm not saying that Troy's in the DR, Coach is in the DR, Mariah's in the DR. No, nobody's not worried about us. But as Troy tell me, they also don't fuck with us like you think too. So there's a difference. You can go with, oh, they ain't worried about us, but they don't fuck with us either. So you keep thinking.
I think
we ain't always.
Rico, I think the issue is, even with me, no matter how long I live there, no matter how good I can speak it, I can be an American. I'm married to a Dominican.
You ain't them.
I'm not Dominican.
You ain't them.
Yep.
And
so exactly.
I don't feel the same way that y'all feel about it.
You will in time. Give me a little more time. That's all, Mariah.
Perhaps, but I don't know. I don't think so.
You give it.
When something happens and they either have to go against you or their people, they always going to choose their people.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, if something happens between me and somebody I know, I'm gonna choose the people that I know or my family members.
When they dead ass wrong and you dead ass right, you still gonna take that L.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but that's not just Dominicans. That's just in most places. That's just like if you go to a neighborhood that you're not from.
Yeah,
that's just like if you go to a neighborhood.
If you go to the 3rd Ward Calliope and you supposed to, you in the Calliope projects, the Calliope projects gonna beat your ass.
It is gonna be like that. In certain in Dallas, you go to somebody and everybody mess with that person. You could be in the right. They finna take that person's side. It just is what it is. Not a race.
Okay, we talking about a car accident. You wrong. I don't give a fuck.
Oh yeah, no, that's true.
They ran into the back of you.
That's true.
You wrong.
But that's not about you not being a Dominican. That's about them seeing money. That's just about money. That's what I'm saying. Because you're not Dominican. That's just money. That don't have nothing to do with them not.
Okay, that's one example. But I'm saying there are many other examples that over time where I think that I think they look at us and we're acceptable up to a point, but there's a point that we will never be able to cross over. And I don't think it's just the DR. I think it's most of Latin America.
Yeah, I don't know. People said the same thing about Colombia, and I just never felt like that in Colombia either. Like I can't say, oh, people will never. Right. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. We're not them, so we shouldn't be looking for somebody to just look at us as exactly them. But as far as people accepting you and seeing you as like a real friend, right? You can build that. But here's the thing: nobody, if you're not a Dominican, nobody's gonna ever view you as you're a Dominican. Now they might forget, depending on how you look or how you behave or whatever the case may be. They might forget, but I don't think it's fair to say if you're getting treated good 99% of the time, and then you have an incident where like a car wreck, and then of course people see dollar signs, and that you have that incident happen, and then you be like, I don't think it's fair to say, oh, they're never going to accept me or they don't never accept us or see us as them, because you're getting treated good like 99% of the time. People are embracing you and accepting you.
Well,
so
I guess I would say this. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Troy.
I got like over 5 years in every aspect of being here. Every business deal I've made, every person that was supposed to be my friend, I've caught them trying to do some shit. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was when I bought the house, there was some shady shit involved. When I bought my first car, the person that was supposed to be looking out for me in the first car tried to hit me for an extra stack under the table.
Rico fucked up.
Yeah, the women that you deal with, just going to the Camado. You know what I'm saying? I don't even let people know that I know Spanish. Just let them talk shit about you. People that I've known for like 4 or 5 years, you think they present themselves as your friend, but they really don't fuck. But in their defense, I don't fuck with them because I'm not naive to come down here and want to be a part of their community. I'm not naive. So I don't really fuck with them. So maybe I'm match energy. So if you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you times 2. So it doesn't really bother me. My feelings don't get hurt when I'm not accepted to, or I'm not invited to certain things, or I don't feel like because I didn't come down here wanting to be a part of the community. I came down here to get away, get some space, get some nice weather, and I'm not under the impression that I'm going to be accepted. I don't want to be accepted. I'm not really accepted in my own country. I'm used to this shit. So, I grew up in a predominantly white area. I went to a predominantly white high school. I went to a black college, but I went to a predominantly white high school. So I'm used to not being accepted. I'm cool with that. I'm all right with that. I got very, very strong family ties. And my mother told me when I was young, you don't have friends.
Right.
Me and your father are your friends.
Yep.
And I've always had that mentality. So I've never been naive because people are gonna They're gonna be human. They're gonna let you down. It's inevitable. People will let you down. Yep. So if you prepare yourself what happens is people get their feelings hurt. And that's when they come online saying, oh, the DR this, the DR that. They did me. Because you wanted to be a part of the gang. And then you found, they showed you that you weren't part of the gang. And now your feelings is hurt. But if you don't be naive and don't come down and think, oh, I know some Spanish, I'm in. Or, oh, my husband is Spanish, or my wife is Spanish, I'm in. I got some kind of secret card that lets me be in because I can dance bachata and I speak Spanish. And when you speak with, and please, my ex-wife is from Honduras, and I dated a Jamaican and from the Caribbean. Please stop speaking with a Spanish accent when you are speaking Spanish. They hate that. They literally hate when you.
That's like trying to talk like a Jamaican.
No, my ex, they hate that. Cause I would do that when I would try to speak patois to them. They hate that. So
wait. So how are you supposed to speak Spanish?
Speak the same way you speak in English. Like you saying hola, you say hola. Don't say hola.
But that ain't how you say it. Yeah. Like in Spanish, you have to roll your R's. There's a correct way to speak Spanish, though.
But you don't have to speak it with their accent. Like there's a way to speak Creole, but I don't have to speak Creole with a Creole accent. I can speak English, but I don't have to speak English with a that-type accent or dialect. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if you're speaking Spanish correctly, you're gonna have an accent. Like,
no,
if you're speaking it correctly, like for example, when you say, if you're gonna speak Spanish, if you're gonna say a word like amarilla, right? You have to pronounce that like that, or else it's not the word. You can't say amarilla, or you can't say like.
You don't have to say it with an accent. An accent is not pronunciation. Accents, you don't have to speak it with the accent. Like I can say words, but I have to sound T.I. when I speak English. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to sound like I'm down south. I don't have to have a New York accent when I'm speaking English. So when you're speaking Spanish, I don't think you have to sound like you're from Spain. Like I don't think you have to do that. They pick up on, you know what? Let them tell you that. Don't let me tell you that.
Yeah, ain't nobody ever told me that. People appreciate it when you try to speak correct Spanish. Like
maybe that's what he's saying, Mariah. I know people who don't try to speak the correct. They speak the tigre, the language of the calle. You know, hey, you know.
I don't really speak slang or nothing like that. Maybe that's what you're talking about. But naturally, if you're speaking Spanish with the correct pronunciation, it's gonna sound like at least mainstream Spanish, and you shouldn't be discouraged from that, or you shouldn't try to neutralize it and make it sound like you're speaking English, because then you're not speaking correct Spanish.
I'm telling you, from what I've been told. Y'all can
what you've been told, but what you've been told is not. It's no shame in trying to speak correct Spanish. That's you should try to do that, y'all.
But I'm saying when you speak English, do you change up your accent and speak like you're from New York? Like if I'm going around saying yo,
no, I don't speak like it's New York. But when you're going to a completely different language, it's not about trying to sound like them. There's a way that language is pronounced. Now they have different accents depending on where you go, but if somebody's just trying to speak standard Spanish, like and even in Spain they have, but if you're not going to sound the way you sound in English, if you are pronouncing those words correctly, you're not going to sound anything like you sound in English, because they have completely different pronunciations, tongue placements. So you actually shouldn't sound like you're speaking English when you're speaking Spanish, or else you're not speaking correct Spanish.
So let me ask a question. Because I hear people say, in particular, and I think this is a pronunciation versus accent argument. Because if you're talking about accent,
I'm talking accent.
Right. And accent, I hear that there's a different accent in every country. They're all speaking Spanish. Yeah. They're all doing the correct pronunciation.
It's like we have different accents. We have different accents.
Colombia, Spain, El Salvador, Dominican Republic. The accent, even my wife, Salvadorian, she'll tell me I get frustrated with her because she say,
you're gonna say, for example, if you're gonna say caro, you should not say caro. Like that. It's not the same word. So you're gonna have to say caro. You have to work that R. If you want to say Barranquilla, you're gonna have to roll that R. You can't say Barranquilla. It's not the same thing.
People say that all the time, though.
Y'all got it. I'm just saying.
But people say Barranquilla.
Hold on, Troy. I see what both of y'all
saying. Yes, but if you're saying it in Spanish, it's Barranquilla.
Coach, when I'm fucking with you and I'm speaking it, I speak with a
we talk like we from New Orleans.
I'm fucking with you, right? Yeah, I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. So, or if I'm speaking to somebody I know from New York, I might say something in a New York accent. I'm fucking. I'm telling you from my experience, because we all have different experiences. I'm telling you from my 5 years in, they don't really like that. Just be yourself. People, matter of fact,
they know that you are who you are. So there's no sense in trying to pretend.
I don't know if Junior's watching. Me and Junior had this conversation. About people speaking with an accent when they speak Spanish. And I wish he could hit the panel, and maybe if it comes from somebody that's from New York, it'll come across.
Or I think maybe
let me know what it sounds like, because you shouldn't speak Spanish the way that you speak English, because they're two different languages.
I'm talking accent. I'm not talking pronunciation and enunciation. I'm talking like accent.
And I think
it's like you're mocking. It's like you're mocking them.
Well, you know who I hate. I hate watching Steve Harvey in Africa. He always try to sound like the African people when he's speaking.
I think what part of the problem is like people try to copy the Dominican accent and they don't get it right. And then when you get it wrong, then you look cheesy as hell. Because like for whatever reason, some people take
that's where they're learning.
Some like it.
No, but you know what I don't like?
Here's the thing. You can't be, and I say this as somebody who teaches languages, like you cannot care. You're going to sound like wherever you're learning from. And there are always going to be people that make fun of you. That's just like a Colombian. I know a Colombian girl who speaks English with no accent at all. I wouldn't even know that she was raised in Colombia, but that's because of the way that she learned how to speak English. Whatever country that you live in, where you start learning to speak Spanish, that is where your accent is going to come from, because you have no other baseline. That's where you're learning. And it's not necessarily the same thing as trying to fake the accent. No, that's not your native language. So this is where you're learning. So naturally, you're going to acquire the natural intonations, the slang, and whatever. And I would say don't try to dumb that down because you're self-conscious about how people are going to feel about it. Go forth, put the effort in. It's better for you to try to say it the way that people are saying it. And yes, people are going to judge you and talk shit. It's not the same thing as genuinely trying to acquire a language is not the same thing as mocking anybody. So I would encourage anybody, no matter what country that you are, whatever country you went to learn Spanish, to put forth a genuine effort in trying to speak the language as correctly as possible for that. Yeah. And you're going to go way further. Like, you don't have to dumb your shit down just so other people are not talking about you. Who cares?
And please, guys, every place does have their own language. Don't go to DR and learn, like, I know they say two times.
I wouldn't recommend coming here to learn Spanish.
Yeah, they say like two times instead of está or pa instead of para.
Yeah, no. This would not be my starting point. No.
They put a B for.
Here's the thing. This is what I will say.
Everything B replaces some other word in Spanish. The letter. So they say boy. I think in B where boy, they put B. They say boy, and I was like, what the fuck?
Some places, or in some places, instead of the double Y, they say the J. But here's the thing. It'd be different. What Troy is saying would probably more so apply to somebody like me. I already spoke Spanish before I came here. Mm-hmm. So I'm not about to change my accent to their accent because I don't talk like that. Now, what I do is I learn their slang and stuff so I know what it means. And so that when I hear it, it took my ear a little bit of time to get used to this Spanish here, right? I hear it, I know what they're saying, and I notice certain differences. But anybody here will tell you I don't talk like them. But that is because I didn't learn Spanish here, right? And I don't recommend anybody come to DR to learn Spanish.
So you know Mexican Spanish, correct?
I know.
Stay
Yeah,
on the way.
but even my Spanish is more proper than a Mexican Spanish, because y'all gotta understand, I also from a very young age was in a classroom setting, whereas a lot of Mexicans that immigrated and came as illegal immigrant, they didn't come from an educated background. So like even my Spanish don't really sound like their Spanish, to be honest. So and they'll say that even Dominicans, they be like, I can't really place your accent. Like I think Mexican, or I might hear a little bit of Colombia, but all that really has to do with is like I just learned in a classroom setting, so you're not gonna place it.
I mean, it would be like, if you're talking slang, just imagine a Dominican or a Mexican coming over and they're like, yo, what's up, bro? That's how we sound to them if we're trying to imitate.
What's
Yo,
up,
homie, what's going on? We would look at them very strange, like, why is...
I don't like that shit. I don't like.
And one, it goes through...
Yeah, don't do that. Don't come to me and be like, yo, my nigga, what's up, my nigga? I hate that shit. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Just say what's up. Just say
But-
what's up. Don't do that. Don't do that.
It just depends. But I would say try to learn Spanish. I would say learn somewhere. Spain is a good place to go. Colombia, Venezuelans. If you could learn from a Venezuelan, don't go live there right now. But if you could learn, because they speak the Spanish most closely, that sounds like the Spanish that's spoken in Spain. So to me, those are the most neutral. I'm not saying they're neutral, but the most neutral accents. But Dominican Spanish, the thing about it is there's so much slang, and it's easier to start from a proper foundation. That's what they tell me I speak. They tell me I speak the Queen Spanish. It's easier to speak from a proper foundation and then learn to understand slang than to begin speaking slang and then try to build a better then try to build out your vocabulary.
Okay, look.
Correct.
We went far in the language, because I know we've been here for a little bit. We'll go a little bit more. Now, question, because we got a little bit away from the topic, and the topic or the overall conversation was hopefully, I hope people that was listening, you learned something. You hate us, you can't stand us, this or whatever. Give us a half like you bushwashing motherfucker. You in the bush. Give us a half like fuck you. Say fuck you, Rico. Give me a half like. But I just want to know, like, for the people on the panel, what's your thoughts in particular when we went into the topic of the week was outside of Floyd, it was Future. And basically it was about we getting off of the age gap thing, trying to get off of it, but we can't fully because it still comes down to Future being a mid 40-year-old man wanting to date 18-year-olds to the point that he crossed the line. And I'm of the mindset that if you cross the line, you knew you crossed the line. I just don't believe you can accidentally fuck a 16-year-old. You didn't accidentally do it. You knew. You just knew. So that's my belief. I'm not saying that you had ID, but I'm sitting there saying is that's my belief. And I'm going to sit on that. And I'll fight anybody on it.
All right, I'm not going to disagree. I'm going to kind of disagree with you.
I'll only go with the point, and I only start with the point. I start with point one. You had no motherfucking business on that street because you knew that street was called Youngin. So if your old ass is on Youngin Street, ain't nothing on there but Youngins. Okay. So if you tell me you accidentally, I'm like, nigga, you was on Youngin Street because you was looking for a youngin. Now
that I agree with you,
I was
Rico.
looking for a youngin right here, and then I'm like, that's where, and that's probably where my space comes. As I say, and I always grew up with, we will always say, he got a taste for them young gals. He got a sweet tooth for them young gals. So guys like that, I've always been taught to watch out for them. We don't play that shit. Niggas be fucking them up. We just not with that. So when people get caught up in that space, no, I just don't have I have no grace to give them. You did what you wanted to do. Future did what he wanted to do. I don't care.
Don't even play around. Why even play around with? Why even hover around 18? Why around 18?
That's the key. That's the key.
Especially in mid 40s. If you're in your 20s, I'll give you some grace. But I'm like 40s.
Yeah. When you 40, when you double these girls' age, and here's the thing: when I say it, y'all saying the same thing I say. When I say it, then the narrative is she's just mad because she's past her prime, and it's like, first of all, I don't even think the way that y'all think about age. It's not about prime and this and that. I date men my age. I have no issues attracting the men that I want in my age group. Right? That's not the issue. Okay. Now, with that said, it's more. I'm 33 and I would not date an 18-year-old. So yes, I'm looking at you crazy if you in your 40s and 50s dating an 18-year-old.
Can I add this to it, Mariah, too? And Fearless, you back me up on it. I'm saying this is the part that this is why I really can't give them any grace. Because when I look at Latin America, I'm like, I've seen 30 and 40 and 50-year-old women that are motherfucking knockouts. So I'm like, why are y'all fucking with these young girls? Because you got women that you don't have to be nowhere near the line that are fucking. I've seen some 30-year-olds. I'm like, so why would you want to look at an 18-year-old?
That's what I'm saying.
Body is snatched, face card is facing everything. So it's like, so when I sit there and say you walk past all of these fine, beautiful 30-year-olds to go to Young in the Street, you were looking for young. You weren't looking for beauty. You weren't looking for sex or beauty. You were looking for young.
And here's the thing, they know the difference in mentality. They try to play like they don't know. They know. That's why they be like, between the ages of 18 to 25, they're the most moldable. They know that they're coming into that situation with the mental upper hand in the situation. And that's why I say, when I was talking to Game Changer on my live, I was like you were saying, what can you get from an 18-year-old that you can't get from the 25-year-old at 43? The 18-year-old, she can have sex. The 18-year-old is still relatively young. She's still fertile. She can still have children. It's like she can do everything the 18-year-old, probably look better because now she got her woman body. But what is the main difference here? And they try to play dumb like they don't know that's the main difference every single time. But we all know what it is.
That's the only thing that I'm like. I was like, it's not like, oh, well, once they turn 21 years old, they all become fat. They all become ugly. I'm like, no, they fucking don't. What the fuck are y'all talking about?
Why don't we try to get Future or people that like? Why don't we ask them that like to date young women what the attraction is? Because we can speculate on what we think it is.
Troy, you know that there are 30.
But we have somebody on this panel who said they date 18-year-olds, that they like 18-year-olds and they in their 40s. So why don't we ask him why he preferred it?
That wasn't me.
Easy said he checks their ID and their information. That's what he said.
Yeah, but it's the same conversation. Why be willing to go that low? So we have somebody on this panel who says they like 18. They like 18-year-olds between 18 and 25 and said they don't want no 33-year-old. So can you explain the difference? Why? You explain. You help us get into the mindset of a middle-aged person who thinks like that.
He might not want to explain.
I wouldn't.
Here's my thing. Listen. I didn't. If I'm good, I'm doing more than one thing at a time. I have explained this before in detail, but if you want to offer a cutoff, you can offer your cutoff, because people like to grandstand on certain things. And right now I'm feeling like somebody's up here is a fraud. And like I said, you say that shows no moral compass, and I disagree with you, and I showed you why. But here's what it is.
What is the main difference for you? What is the difference between why are you willing to date because you're in your 40s? Why are you willing to date an 18-year-old and not a 33-year-old? What is the main difference? And mind you, it needs to be something that a 25, 26, 27, 30-year-old cannot provide either. So what does an 18-year-old have? this is what we're trying to understand, why y'all would even go that young. Why an 18-year-old and not the 29, the 30, 31, 32, 33? What can she provide that between 18 and 25? What can a girl in that age range provide that women that are older than her cannot provide?
A history.
They're
That's
usually
basically what it
not
is.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're usually not you.
Yeah,
I know.
not
Listen,
condoning
I'm
it.
gonna cut to the heart of it. I'm gonna cut to the heart of it. Because what's being said here is that because you're willing to date an 18-year-old, there's something wrong with you as a man in your 40s or your 30s. So a man 35 shouldn't date an 18-year-old. And if you feel that way, why you not protesting the entire adult industry over here because they can still strip at 18?
They fucked up too.
So they can do a whole lot of things at 18, but for some reason you have a problem with that. And why is it always when it's the older man? I'm not going to argue back and forth with you. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. Ask the question. I listened to you all this time. I listened to you all this time and didn't say nothing. But this is the reason American men travel, because they don't want to have to deal with bitter bitches.
Okay, so it's all about bitter bitches. So we agree. It's mine.
You're not letting me answer. Let me answer. Why you keep cutting me off?
Continue.
I listened to you talk for like a half an hour. God damn.
Let me ask Phyllis a question. Phyllis, you
who got 100
hold on, Mariah. Phyllis, you said
no, listen, normally I don't go off on sisters like this. I give women the utmost respect. But you are coming from some place of trying to put on me whatever problems you went through as a child.
Okay,
you don't have to do that.
Okay, hold
on.
Sir,
you can't talk about when you literally be lusting after teenage girls. But let's continue.
And I know you be out there paying for it too.
Hang on. Hold.
I was out here, what?
Hold on, Mariah.
Hold up, y'all be quiet. Both of y'all be quiet. Both of y'all go ahead.
Tell me, you said because I want to make sure I heard you right. Between an 18-year-old and a 25-year-old, you said history, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Can you explain that to me? Because I'm lost with what's the history between an 18 and a 25-year-old.
No problem. I'll go with the first thing you said about guys dating younger. And in the DR, with Future, he knew the person's age because he was seeking the age.
And let's not bring Dominicans into it. Let's keep it with Americans.
All right, I'll go with Americans.
Okay.
Usually what happens is the more relationships you have, the more instances of being hurt that you have, the more difficult it is to get over that. It's just like with anything. If you were in a relationship, you got broke, you got scolded, your defenses start to go up. The easiest love that you had was your first love because it was innocent. The more loves you have after that, the more apprehensive you get, the more defensive you get, the more on the lookout you get, where it becomes you have to knock down walls in order to get there. So the older a woman gets, and it's not necessarily age, because sometimes you can have an older woman that's only been in a few relationships. But in general, the older you get and the more relationships you have, the more difficult it is. That's why some women who are in their 40s are like, I'm fine to be alone.
We're talking 25. Let's keep it on the
even at 18 to 25, you have less relationships, less experience, so less things that would make you more apprehensive. Where your love or how you feel is more open.
Hang on, Mariah.
The reason why this is so funny to me is because as somebody who just recently was a high school teacher, these high school kids are literally fucking more than grown people. They are. They fucking in the bathroom, in school grounds. They're going through relationship after relationship. I literally work with teenage girls who have way more body than this is a different generation coming up.
But hold on, Mariah. Let me ask him a question. Are you saying that I just want to make sure, because what I'm saying is so the belief, what I'm hearing is the belief is an 18-year-old is almost virginal, or at least
that's what they believe.
Okay, let me finish. That's almost a belief. Like, oh, if she's 18-year-old, I'm gonna get her first, and then by 25, she's damaged goods. This is why I'm trying to frame it that way, because so I'm like, if at 18 she's virginal, 25 she's damaged good. So now you're 45, 20 years older than a 25-year-old, and you're telling me somebody 20 years younger than you is damaged goods?
And not just that,
But
y'all
I'm
act like
asking.
y'all don't come with y'all own baggage that y'all are then you feel entitled to throw on the younger
men
person.
do that too. I tell men, I said the worst thing I ever did was be a hoe
So
because
that's what
it messes a guy up.
but
As a
fearless.
guy, you
That's what
go through the same things where now your vices and the things that you want are at a different level because you had those experiences.
but
So
fearless.
it
That's
becomes
what I'm
very
saying.
difficult to be with one person because you're looking for something more.
But here, that's my question: is I'm sitting there saying it's like I try to tell people to talk it
That's
out. Hear
all of us.
yourself.
Shit.
I'm 45. I'm 45. I'm saying a 25-year-old, which
You definitely not
me and
45.
Troy. Hold on. Me and Troy got 25-year-old daughters, and I'm like, are you telling me our 25-year-old daughters are damaged good? You know, I'm just saying the age.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
that's
this is
what
what
they
you guys are
think.
saying, right? The
And I wouldn't say damaged goods. That's it. It becomes relative.
right,
For
but that's
instance,
what I'm saying,
I
right?
think
It's relative.
your past.
Hang
You,
on.
when
Let me
I
finish. It's
go ahead, brother.
relative to an 18-year-old, which y'all believe when she was 18.
Oh,
She,
I tell you,
let
I
me
got
finish.
it. I
Okay,
got
so
it.
at 18, I'm asking about the mindset of men. You look
Hmm.
at women at 18, the mindset or belief that all 18-year-olds are virginal, pure as the driven snow. And by the time she's 25, she's damaged goods. She's been run through this, that, whatever. And by the time you 45, you can't want a 25-year-old. You got to want to go all the way down to an 18. This is what I'm
I don't say that, but I'll give you
It's very
I'll
sick.
give you the best example. I
okay.
hire people, and one of my managers said, one of the people we want to hire are some college graduates. Why?
Mhm.
He said because if we can get them in, we can mold them to our culture that we have, and we don't
Yeah,
have to worry about them bringing any bad habits. The only
yeah,
habits that they have are the things that we teach them, and we teach them our way. Because
yeah.
sometimes when we hire people with a lot of experience,
Uh-huh.
they come in and they have great experience, but they also have those bad habits and things they brought from other cultures that kind of destroy the culture inside. So if
Right.
I relate that to relationships, I would say I would want someone that I can put into my path, into the way that I think, that I don't have to retrain them into another way of thinking, or they've been distraught in some way that I have to say, man, don't think that way. I want you on my path, especially if it's someone I want to marry. I don't want to have
But a
to.
woman is not a dog, and I think this is what y'all. Here's the thing: confusion that y'all have, and even just you bringing the work culture thing too. There are real issues that Gen Z or these newer generation cultural differences that present themselves. That these bosses come into it thinking, oh, we can mold them and this and that, and then they quickly find out, oh, their turnover rate is so high because this new generation don't mind leaving or quitting a job, right? So here's the thing what y'all don't understand, this is a fantasy, especially when you're going to these third world countries. This is a fantasy that you think the young girl is coming with less mileage. As a matter of fact, these girls are catching way more bodies than American girls because these grown men your age already found them before you and came with that idea that they were going to be able to get what they wanted to get out of them with no pushback. And not just that, they're coming into it without discernment, right? So it's like they already out here loose. They're having sex. I was a high school teacher. These girls are not virgins. They're having sex. They're not even getting in long-term relationships now. They going from young boy to young boy, throw a couple grown men in between there. So by the time you get them, they're not virgins. They're just still stupid. So yes, certain things you can mold them in. And another thing y'all don't bring up, which I have a couple family members this has happened to, and I worked with the girls who were strippers and who came in there to take them off the pole, the 40-something-year-old. And I would tell them girls hey, don't do that, but they wanted financial stability. Now he 43, been divorced once or twice, or 45 in his 50s. She go get with the older dude. Now that we're in our 30s, when I talk to these same girls, they hate these men. He took advantage of me. I didn't know no better. He stole my youth. I done had all these kids. He's financially abusing me. They
You're
want to
proving
get a
what I'm
divorce.
saying. Why would a dude want to be with a 30-year-old who's been through all of that tragedy?
Y'all don't talk about how these older men get with these younger girls, and eventually these younger girls grow to hate them. You can mold them for a time until they get their wits about them, until their brain fully develops and they catch on to what happened and what's been going on. And all they could see when they were in survival mode was stability. But y'all don't talk about these divorce rates with these age gap relationships and how these women grow to dislike.
But hold up, there's two things that you said that I corrected. I said it's not always age; it's still experience. Meaning, if I was a single guy, I wouldn't get with an 18-year-old who's a hoe. Well, how would that benefit me? It doesn't do anything for me.
I'm telling you now, that's the majority. That's the culture now.
Let me say
but that's where you look at, or that's where you see. I don't see that. And what I always say is, I
work with children a lot, sir. That is not just what I see. Hookup culture is real. These girls be 18 and 17 years old.
Can I ask where you work at? Are you working in the public school area, or it might be a private upper class school area?
What?
Because it matters.
No,
that determines
it. Don't. Y'all are delusional.
Yes, it does.
This stuff don't matter. The private school kids is out here, but they've been wilding.
So the pregnancy rate in the private school is the same in the public school, then, right?
The kids in private school have the money to wow. They doing drugs and everything.
So the pregnancy rate in the private school. Hold up, I'm asking you a question because I got to go with facts, not feelings. Hold up, I go with facts, not feelings. The pregnancy rate. Hold up, the pregnancy rate and the STD rate in the public schools is the same in the private schools.
No, they have money for abortions. They cover stuff up. Why? Because their families don't.
Man, if you look at the abortion rate, black women who are lower income have the most abortions.
Why
are you talking about?
Making this about black women?
But because usually it's a poverty level, it's an education. Because it's a poverty level, it's an education level.
It's not a poverty this is the culture now. I don't understand what y'all are not getting. These kids.
That's why I just asked you a simple question. If I'm looking at the facts, I'm looking at STDs and I'm looking at pregnancy. So pregnancy and abortion. So you can look at all of those stats.
Abortion. The stats don't mean they're not fucking. The stats just mean the stats are not, they're correlative, but that don't mean they're not fucking. And rich families, they're going to go take their kid to get an abortion and they're going to keep it on the hush. Same thing with STDs. They might have more education and use condoms and stuff like that because their family's name is riding on it. Those kids are fucking and they're drugging even more so than the poor kids.
Well, I want to go back to what Mariah said. In the Dominican Republic, it's been three older men, 45, 50, 60 years old, that has killed their 20, 25-year-old girl because the girl was trying to leave and trying to dip out because he got her at 17, 18, 19 years old. And that's
what happens.
It has nothing to do with age. That's a Dominican thing. There's young dudes who what they have over there is a tragedy with acid. So guys who are the same age who are emotional messed up, when a girl leaves them and they're pretty, they throw acid on their face because they want to destroy it. That has nothing to do with age. That's just that's the instability of a man.
When these girls get older, they don't want to stay with y'all. And that is the point I'm trying to make. That whole mold her shit, it works for a time. And then here's another part that a lot of these men ain't gonna never tell it, but I've seen it so much with my own eyes. She will marry you, let you pay the bills. Who cheats the most? These stay-at-home moms, right? These young girls be having a dude her age that she fucking because she don't want y'all. And it's like, y'all don't want to accept that. Y'all want to buy into the delusion that an 18-year-old really, really will want you and love you and that you can forever contain her and keep her in a cage. No, she's going to mature.
No.
She's going to get
controlling. I'm not talking about
the game that she was running, and she's gonna either leave or she's gonna be messing with dudes her age the entire time. So this message that y'all preaching to these men to date girls between 18 and 25 because they not bitter or they ain't got no knowledge is not rooted in anything true because they've been fucking before you met them.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think the 25-year-old who had 5 relationships is less bitter than the 35-year-old with triple the relationships? Who would be more bitter?
It depends on the relationships. And
why do you say that? See, when we talked about the age and the 18-year-old, it depends on the relationship when you say that. All of it's relative. Meaning
why I said that is because a woman could have had, let's say you meet a girl that's like a woman that's like 30 years old, right? And she's had 10 relationships. But in all of those relationships, she never got hands and feet laid on her. Or
But you're
let's
talking about
say,
the exception. I'm not talking. You keep bringing up
But that's what he
exceptions.
said before. He said it depends, but what's
if
most
you meet a
likely?
girl that's
So you
25,
keep bringing up an exception. You keep saying, "Oh, she's 30." You keep
if you
saying like
bring
this,
up
Mariah.
yes, a
Oh,
girl
there's
that's 25
30-year-old women who only been with
relationship
like
that she
2
had
guys.
was toxic, she's gonna have a worse outlook versus if you have meet a 30-year-old and maybe it was more of a mixed bag. It really, in that regard, it kind of depends. What I'm talking about in terms of these 18-year-olds and their brain development, that's not disputable. That's science. And eventually they will grow out of that relationship and they'll realize
How about
what happened.
21? How about 21? Is 21 good age?
For what?
Is
Explain the
21
scenario.
a good cutoff for somebody who's 43 and she's 21? Is that good?
Absolutely not. Why? No. I personally, if I was a
Okay.
lawmaker, honestly and truly, if you're like 43, it would be illegal for you to date anybody under 25.
So what's a good age then? You tell me. I want to ask. What's a good age and what makes it a
Please
good
ask
age?
her. Please ask her. I guess 33 is the age.
So I'm going to go into scientific reasons right here, right? This is not just my opinion. Your prefrontal cortex, this is your decision making. It's responsible for your decision making, right? That's not fully developed until you are 25 years old, right? And this is what helps people make proper and informed decisions for themselves without being impulsive. I don't think that anybody that is in their 40s should be dating anybody below that. And this is why after that age range, you start to see a significant increase in divorces between these age gap relationships, because now these women are mature enough and they have more agency. Y'all can bring up all the other stuff a 21-year-old can do or an 18-year-old can do in the United States. And to that, I would say, yeah, certain things like joining the military, I think that the age is too young. Sir, there are a lot of things where I think we're letting these young people.
That was one of the reasons I gave.
Taking on debt, I think that's way too young. I'm very consistent across the board. And I think a lot of these things, not just in regards to sex, but a lot of things we allow these people who are very young to do is very predatory. But I will say this. 18-year-old, y'all need to leave them alone. Y'all will talk about the baggage of older people.
So you hold up, Mariah. You brought up stats.
People and throw your baggage on them, and it's not fair.
But I'll repeat it for you. Maybe I've been hard on you. Maybe I've been hard on you.
I'm gonna bring up the stats then. Hold up, brother. I'm gonna bring up the stats. The stats say that a woman who was with less men marries longer, and usually that starts at a younger age. So a woman who has more men gets divorced quicker. So wouldn't it make sense that someone who is younger, not everybody, because generation is different, would have less experience and less body?
Marry younger to a man her age. That's not for you to come take advantage of with your big grown ass. Let two young people get together and marry each other and stay together longer. Why you feel like you got to come throw your baggage and what you want and try to make her to be who you want her to be in that situation? Go find somebody with an age gap.
What should be the
young people?
What should be appropriate age gap? What should be an appropriate age gap? So a 25. So if a 55-year-old man is marrying a 25-year-old woman, that's all right.
Yeah, I would be okay with that. Do I think it's weird? Yeah, but I would be okay with that. Mm-hmm. And there's a scientific basis for it. Now, am I still looking at him crazy? Would I necessarily? Yeah, but at the same time, I would be like, okay, that makes more sense. There's a scientific basis for that, and that's brain development and decision making and personal agency. So yeah, if a 55-year-old, I'm gonna be less likely, still side-eyeing, but I'm gonna be less like what I trust a 55-year-old who married a 25-year-old around my 18-year-old daughter. Absolutely not.
But now what you're saying is, you're saying it as though the man is the predator. You gave no problem with hold up, because a woman has to make the man didn't put a gun to her head and say you gotta get married. The woman is saying, hold up. The woman is saying if she's marrying that 55-year-old man, she's saying, I'm looking at stability. I'm looking at this. What you're saying is the women ain't mature enough. You're saying you're dumbing down the women.
Thing is when grown men offer children candy and then they're grooming them to start having sex with them, and then the children continue to just be quiet so that they can.
Oh, wait a minute!
Now,
you just said when grown men offer children candy, they're grooming them. That's what you just said. So if grown men are taking pictures with children, videos with children, and stuff like that, something's wrong.
What? Yeah.
But see how you just went way on the spectrum? No 50-year. You think a 50-year-old is offering a 20-year-old some candy?
That you want, so you're going to put that on the table as to lure them in, right? 18-year-old.
Hold up. You just said that these 15-year-olds is in the bathroom. Hold up. You just told me that these 15-year-olds
is wrong with you. So, because you should be able to run game, you should be able to mentally run circles. You are in a state of arrested development if you are 55 years old and an 18-year-old can take advantage of you.
Mariah, this is what you just said. Mariah, you just told me this. You just said that these young people today ain't like they was before. They 15-year-old, they fucking, they know all of this. Hello? So you telling me today this? Hold up. Don't let me do it because you keep changing the rules. You changing the rules.
I'm changing the rules. Just because they're fucking don't mean that they have better mental understanding and better judgment. Let them fuck on each other. You don't need to see, these 17, 16, 18-year-olds is fucking faster, so let me insert myself into the situation. No, just because they're having sex, that is a part of their culture right now. They are moving the hookup culture sexually because of the images they're seeing, because of the pornography. It's getting introduced to them too young. That don't mean that they're ready to go fuck with a 55-year-old man. Let them work that shit out amongst people in their age group. Let them figure that out amongst people in their. You don't have to come and take advantage of the situation because you like, I'm ready now.
I know some dudes that get taken advantage of who's 60. They just hold up.
Stupid decisions.
They just had the dude that was in Thailand and 60-something years old that just got taken advantage by the other Thailand chick in her 20s. So don't tell me that this is about that.
To begin with, is what I'm saying.
So that 60-year-old and 20-year-old means nothing. Yes, when you say age, you can be stupid at 60 and mature at 20.
She's not mature. She's still dumb as hell, right? But she dumb and desperate looking for money. That 60-year-old man, common sense, him being a grown man with common sense, should have told him she don't want nothing from me but money. She in survival mode. We don't have shit in common. We shouldn't even be together. There should have never even been space for that relationship to take place because he big and grown and know what the hell going on.
Apparently he didn't, and that was one of his stupidity parts.
He did. He just thought that here's the thing in this situation. He just thought that he was going to be the one to go into the situation and take advantage. That's what he thought it was going to happen. He was looking to be. But what y'all don't understand is with a lot of these girls, they're getting coached by a man or a mama. These girls are these grown people are telling these girls, hey, they just want sex, this is that. So this is what you got to do. Of course, a lot of these girls that come out of poverty, yes, they're going to go into the situation and get what they can get at the time. That don't mean that they know at 18, 19, and 20 what they're gonna know at 30. That don't mean that they're not gonna look back and look at those decisions that they made and be like, wow, I was really being stupid. Or I let X, Y, and Z get into my head. They don't understand and they're being fed the wrong messages. These kids are being bombarded with pornography. Every time they pick up their phone, we don't have to deal with that. Does that mean that they're more mature and more ready for what you come in with as a grown middle-aged man? No. What it means is they're being trained from a very young age to treat sex like it's nothing. But they don't, because they don't know better.
Hey, well, we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna wrap it up, and I'm gonna let Mariah finish up. She's gonna be the last one since she was the guest. But I really appreciate everybody. We had 100 people on. We got 92 people on right now. Closing comments. I'm gonna let you easy. You go ahead and or I'm sorry, not easy. Troy, you still there? Fearless.
Yeah, brother. Hey, I appreciate this show. Hey, great thing, guys. If you travel, please don't go travel to have fun, experience, not for the women. Women should be a secondary thing. And please don't bring your immaturity and things to other countries and your biases. Sometimes I get on, Rico knows me, I get on for just a great debate. I'm married, and I'm not married to an 18-year-old. So,
Right.
but sometimes I like the conversation because I think it gives points of views when you bring it out. Mariah, I appreciate the conflict here, and I hope that people were able to listen and learn and take it from either aspect from that.
Man, I want to say
appreciate you.
Yeah. I appreciate you, brother. And that's why I really love talking about these different things, because I want to put stuff out there, and I want our blackness to be positive. That's what I want it to be. It all boils down to that. I think everybody on this platform want our blackness to be positive when we go overseas and represent. So thank you, brother. You have a good one. Hey, we'll be back on probably next Sunday or the Sunday after. I'll keep you posted, and you have a good one, man. Thank you for being respectful.
Yeah, guys. Hey, just when you come out here, just try to represent. Try not to just think about yourself individually. Just think about what you're doing is going to affect how we all are viewed, and that's just my main thing. And then also, I gotta say this one thing, Coach. I sat with my mentor, caught our last live, and he told me that we had a nice long talk, and we talked about respecting other people's wishes and what they want to do with their life. Because I think he said I was being a little judgmental about how people are in these relationships, like being step pops, and that's one thing that he really got on me. He said if a man can do what he wants to do with his own time and his own money. He really got on me about being judgmental. So what everybody else does, they want to come out here, come to DR and do, that's y'all business. And if I offended anybody about my stance and how I feel about relationships, I apologize. And I think everybody should be able to do what they want to do with their own life. Because he really, really got on me about that. He said he didn't think that was a good look. And I was being a tad bit judgmental. So if anybody felt,
Mariah, did you feel that Troy was being a little bit overboard?
That was like 2 lives ago.
Maybe it seemed
not this live. This is like two lives ago. 2 lives ago, we were talking about people simping and stuff. Not this live. We were talking about 2 lives ago that we had, Coach. He said I went a little too hard on people. Yeah, not this live. Right. He'll tell me about this one later. But the 2 lives ago, he said I was getting on people about simping. He said that's not your business. So, and I agree. Yeah, he sat me down and he laced my shoes with that. He said that's not your business. So, yeah, I need to apologize if anybody felt offended by what I was saying. So that's it.
I appreciate it, brother. You have a good one, man. Thank you.
You too, man.
All right, later. All right, Easy. You got the floor, and then we'll let Mariah.
Yo, have a good night. Very explosive, in-depth conversation. Everybody have a good night. It was a good conversation. I had fun. Rico, the biggest simp in the world. Miss Mariah with your beautiful self, very opinionated and strong. Hopefully I can prove you wrong, which I know I can. But and my brother John and all that. Another big simp. I just want to say this. All married men cheat.
Why am I a simp?
Yeah, okay. Just like Rico. All married men cheat. And that's a fact. You understand that? All married men cheat.
I don't know about that, man. Hey, but let me
No, all of them. All of them.
They cheat. But where did that come from? Shit.
All of them.
Hey, but
so listen.
Go ahead.
I want to do something like a cookout or barbecue. We could do like an annual something. You know? Remember we talked about putting something together? But we do that like once a year gathering.
Hey, thank you for coming to my birthday party, man.
Nigga, I ain't coming to your cookout with no 18-year-olds.
Well, listen, like I said, all married men cheat. I'm not all married men cheat. Hey, listen, just because I go to 18 don't mean the one I've been with is 18. I'll bring you know what, just for you, I'll give you a 29-year-old, a 26. How about that? That's good.
That bitch better be 40.
Listen, that's never going to happen. I'll cycle through them like tires. Later, y'all. Have a good night. Stop. All married men cheat.
Thank you. I don't even know where that came from. That wasn't even a damn subject. Rico, you got it. Go ahead, and then we'll let Mariah close out.
No, we're gonna let Mariah go. Mariah,
Yeah,
how do you
we'll
feel
close out together.
about today? Did you feel like even though I will tell you, Coach old fuck nigga, he let shit get more aggressive than it needed to be. Do you feel like we were fair enough with you? Because he just does.
Yeah.
Because he just
I mean,
he got a little passport
I
bro
know
in
how to
him.
handle myself, and I feel like it was
I
very
know.
fair, and I feel like y'all moderated it well. I understand this is what comes with it, being one of the few women in this space that speaks my mind. I understand men are gonna want to give their opinion and want to address me, but at the same time, here's the thing. I've seen too many women come on these type of panels and they let the men run over them and they can't get their point across. And that's just never gonna be me. Like, I can be very calm and listen to people and this and that. But y'all, I gotta when I'm in this space, I gotta have that dog in me. So it just is what it is. Cause I already know what would happen if I don't.
You was a tomboy, weren't you?
I was a tomboy. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you used to fight boys and everything.
Been that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm never gonna ask you to shrink yourself or be a shrinking violet for anybody. I would never ask you to be that for me. I would want you to speak up to me. So I certainly wouldn't want you not to speak up to other people. I don't come from a space of women that have to bite their tongue and shrink their voice, because I come from a space where I can take counsel from men or women. Good counsel is good counsel no matter where it comes from. And oftentimes some of the best sage advice, some of the best advice I've ever gotten in my life come from my wife. So she was just out here cussing me out in the backyard just a minute ago. So it's like, it's like, hey, that's every day. I'm mad, but she right about some shit. So it just is what it is. So I don't believe in that. It's just kind of crazy.
This guy's somebody snitching on you. I met Uncle Rico in
Future.
When
for sure. Oh, Rico, we had quite a few at Clips Bar and had a great time. Yeah, but my whole thing is
Rico had about 2 or 3 women wrapped around his arms. Okay, go ahead.
I just want did at least you feel like we was again, I can't baby you, and I'm not gonna baby you, and I don't think you need to be baby or overly right. I know I'm saying, but by the same token, they already telling me I'm simping for you. I'm like, no, I just agree. So I'm a simp because I agree with some of the shit you say. A lot of what you say.
It's a lot of people that
or let me correct. Let me correct.
That she hate. They hate that she's on the platform.
No, Coach. Let me correct it. I don't agree with a goddamn thing you said, Mariah. I'm sorry. Mariah. You know why I don't agree with nothing you said, Mariah? Because you came out and said shit after I said it. That's
you
the
be
crazy
on
part.
You be on my stream going way harder than them. Like you be going on them.
What I'm saying
you go hard, but they don't really approach you with the same energy or get as upset.
They know they better not.
And that's why I got to keep my foot on their neck, because y'all not finna come play with me and then try to play me like I'm dumb just because I'm a woman. Y'all not finna play. And here's another thing I noticed in this space. Some of y'all men, y'all be doing very, very catty things when y'all talk to people. And then when y'all get called out for the catty schoolgirl shit, then now I'm wrong and aggressive. If you get catty with me, I'm calling it out every single time. I'm coming at you live and direct. You're not just gonna get catty with me and try to say something slick or throw some shots. When you take it to the flow, I'm gonna take it to hell with your ass. And guess what? I give it out and I can take it, but understand that I'm always gonna come 10 times harder. It just is what it is.
Yeah. I saw that a couple times where people were trying to throw shade on the backside
and get catty. When I'm coming for you, I'm gonna come very direct, and I'm not gonna deny that I'm coming for you. Y'all men be trying to throw y'all shots at me. Y'all be trying to throw your shots and get a reaction, and then act like, oh, well, she just coming out of nowhere. No. Do that with your chest. Is what because I'm gonna do it with mine every time.
And the only thing I said this is, again, like I said, a lot of the points of view of yours that I agree with are points of views that me and Peso said 5-6 years ago, long before your ass ever even left. So I'm like, No, I'm not agreeing with her. Actually, she's agreeing with me. I'm telling it in the wrong way because it looks like, oh, you pandering to her. No, she's pandering to me. But when I would say it, y'all told me what they used on me was ageism. They couldn't say I was a woman. They couldn't say I was white. They said I was old. So I'm like, okay, but I'm a black man. Now you got a white man and a black woman saying the same shit. Y'all running out of fucking excuses as to why you can be dismissive. What we're all seeing is the same behavior. And I'm talking about the behavior. So again, I just want to make sure, like, I never felt like you need protection, but I did want to tell coach, no, it's not going to be a pile on. Let it be 1-to-1. Because when it's a 1-to-1, most of them can't stand up to you. Because I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to fall back. I'm going to shut the fuck up. 1-to-1. Deal with her. And most of them can't, but I'm not going to let nobody, especially here, and I got to get in coach ass, you can't panel up 4 or 5 guys that's going to be coming after her at one time.
I wasn't trying to let them come after
well,
her.
Then you got to moderate better, and you got to tell niggas to pipe down and go 1-to-1. You got to moderate.
If it would have got control, he would have said something, but
no, he wouldn't have, unless I would have smacked his ass. He
I would. No,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You know,
is I stay in his ass about it because, you know, like Ray's, and that's my guy. But other people, I've been on panels where it's been like me against 6 motherfuckers, and I'm like, no, that's not fair.
But I don't think it was that many people. It was too many people against her on the panel.
It was 3. So it's just like, you know, we need to. It should always be 1-to-1. It should always be, if there's going to be disagreements,
Mariah,
it should be 1-to-1.
Mariah, who tried to give you the most pressure or tried to be slick with you today?
I'm gonna be honest, like
you got Easy, and then you had what's the other guy name?
The one that came up that we was talking about him liking 18-year-olds. He tried to be the most slick.
That's easy.
And then the other one, when he first came up with the glasses, what was his name?
Troy.
Fearless.
Oh, Fearless.
Not Troy. Fearless. He tried to kind of like use this clip that I made about why do all the fine dudes live in the hood.
Right.
And try to make it seem like that's why I'm over here in Santo Domingo Este, which again, if you ask Dominicans, they'll say this is not the hood, right? So here's the thing. He tried to kind of like tie that in with the men going to live in the hood to get these women and this and that, which he said that's not what he was trying to do. But when you say that all within the same breath, that's the impression that you're making. And mind you, again, let me be clear. When I made the video, it was, why do the fine dudes always live in the hood? Because I'm from the hood, right? And the fine dudes be over there. It wasn't, I'm staying over here because this is where the best looking men are at. It's like I've been to both sides, and I've noticed the men on this side look better. But that's not why I'm over here, obviously.
Right. And I haven't seen that clip, so I don't even. I heard him talk about it. I couldn't speak on it because I hadn't seen it, so I didn't know what he was talking about.
I never said, "Oh, this is why I'm staying over here," or "This is why I'm living over here," or nothing like that. It had nothing.
And I do understand. Like Dr. HP said, a lot of people refer to Santo Domingo Este. A lot of people refer to it as the hood. I don't disagree with them because I know it's not Distrito Nacional, it's not Piantini.
Yeah, compared to other areas, it is the hood.
Other areas.
Is it?
Right. Now, I know I've been to Coach's house, so I know it's like you can have,
but you're not in the hood, be in the middle of a
you can have nice areas. And here's the thing, you can have nice areas in the hood and you can have hood areas in the hood. But it's true. It still can all be considered
let's say this
the hood.
Is the hood. It's not the hood like you're safer over here in this area that I'm at, and then in Chicago. Like, I'm not worried about a drive-by shooting over here.
Right. And that's why I said it is.
People getting too drunk and somebody dying.
Right. So, but even when we say hood in the U.S., we're not saying all hoods are fucking super dangerous. Some hoods are just low income. That's it.
Yeah,
that's a hood.
I would say it's
not a dangerous area. Right. It's just low income. So all hoods, people, they make hood synonymous with danger or ghetto or dangerous, where it's like, no, some hoods are just low income. Nothing more other than that. They're very safe. They're just low fucking income. So
Not that he having machete
that's where
fights.
that's where that's where that was going. I got that, but again, mostly importantly, I hope that you felt like you were respected, given your
No,
voice
no, of
here.
course.
Because a lot of times, and I tell coach, I'm not gonna be over here fucking with him where we're disrespecting, and like he said, oh, but you do that to men, Rico. I'm like, you a fucking man, and I'm a man.
Right.
So cry me a river. I'm not, I'm boo fucking who? You a man, and I'm a man. I'm not gonna bully women like I bully men. You supposed to be a fucking man. You should be able to withstand the pressure. So
They call that.
I don't
They
even.
call
I think it's the
that.
other
They
way
call it.
around.
That's respect, but they call
I
that.
don't. Bro, I don't get this. Niggas always crying about you ain't never got nothing to say good about men, Rico. I'm like, cause I'm a fucking man. I'm not. I wasn't raised to say nothing good about men. I was raised not to have nothing good to say about men. I don't care how fucking good you are as a man. I wasn't raised to look up or to honor or to respect my father. That's
Yeah.
it. And I was raised that it's a hard world for men, and men got to do hard things. The
Yeah.
fucking eat.
That's how. That's why.
I look
That's
for
why.
my praise
Hold on,
from
Rick.
women, not from other men.
That's
So I'm
how.
like, if you are a man, you should be looking for your praise from women,
That's
not
how.
from me, because I'm not giving it to you, motherfucker.
That's how I
I'm
was
just not.
raised. My uncles,
Yeah.
my uncles were like Rico, and like even when I got drafted, I got picked up. I got drafted in the 6th rounds, and both of my uncles, I get out the car and I see my uncles, and I just got drafted, and I'm thinking they finna say, "Oh, congratulations, nephew."
Like,
Blah, blah.
so nigga,
They said,
so
you still ain't shit, nigga."
that's it. Men
So
just
that's just
don't.
how. That's how
It,
that.
it
That's how
comes
I'm
from
raised.
women. It comes from your mama. It comes from women. If
Mhm.
you're looking as a man, and I'm like, you shouldn't be. My sons, I'm like, every once in a while I thought, yeah, I'm proud of you, whatever, nigga. Don't. You got that one, I'm proud of you. I ain't saying it no fucking more until you do something else. Get the fuck out my face. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm not about to be the next 50 years praising you, hugging you, making you get in touch with your inner self, because we got more hard shit to do. Because the
Did
hard
y'all
shit
see
don't got
that
to end for us.
Instagram reel? There was an Instagram reel, and it's about, because men like to make fun of women who were fatherless, and then they
Mhm.
don't understand that those are the women that you're most likely to be able to take advantage of, like the women that y'all want, that y'all are the submissive and do what you say. You're more likely to find that in the fatherless crowd that's young, right? And she was saying that because she was like, it was like she was acting out. It was a girl with the dad, and she was like, "This is how y'all think our fathers talk to us: be submissive, cook and clean, get married young, focus on your family." And then she was like, "This is how our dads really talk to us: don't trust these men, focus on your career, get your own money, get your education, don't believe this man unless they do what they say, and even if they do it, if it's tangible, still don't trust their ass." Like, she's like, this is how our dads are talking to us, right? So it's like men like to, again, shame women for not having dads in their life, but the ones that have the dads in their life that have the strongest opinions, that are so focused on being like, they're more focused on getting their education. They're more hyper independent because they had a father that warned them about men.
Now here's some OG this, Mariah. So cigar talk. You say that's BS about me sitting there being short and tough. Here's the deal, right? Okay, right. No, men don't have to uplift. I'll tell you the perfect example. Probably the most male-oriented space in the country is the military, right? In the military, you fucking complete a school, they give you an award. That's it. Don't nobody want to talk about it no fucking more. No one else cares. They pin a little certificate on your chest. Shut the fuck up, move on, because everybody else got one. Nobody's not going to spend. They're not in the military uplifting no fucking body. You can't be more masculine than in the military. You get your fucking award. Okay, good, motherfucker. Tell me when you get the next one. Shut the fuck up. Get out of my face. It's always about the next thing you do. So you sit there and go, it's BS, tough love is fine, but men must uplift each other. Get the fuck out of here. Men in the military aren't running around uplifting each other. They watch each other's back. Fuck no, I'm not trying to uplift you. Do your fucking job. I do fucking mine. Or else. So you can't get more masculine than in the military. And they're not uplifting each other in the fucking military. They don't do that. That is not a place for it. You got a job to do. You do your fucking job. Now, maybe there's some shit. And that's where I came from. I cut my teeth in the military. So, you're right. This is in the military. But that's where I cut my teeth at. And you're right. That's why a lot of fucking men aren't men like they need to. This is life. But guess what? A lot of motherfuckers in life could learn some shit from the military about being fucking men.
Right.
So cigar talk. That's what I'm saying. I'm the type of man, a military background, that was how I was taught about being a man, and that shit will go with me until the day I die. Now, if you the type that you need your hand held, or you need to be hugged, or you need words of affirmation every day, okay. I ain't mad at you. I don't need it, but you ain't getting it from me either. You ain't getting it from me. So you can call it BS all you want. I'll surround myself around men who don't need that shit. Because I don't need it and they don't need it. That's who I'll surround myself around.
Yeah, that's why I just laugh.
But that's all.
That's why I laugh so much, because I really don't need all this extra attention and all this extra shit, and people be. I just like trying to help people out and keep all these perverts out of
Finding My Oasis. Go to Finding My Oasis. Where did I say anything about leaving Battle Buddy?
Read it.
We were the next one. We were specifically talking about needing to be uplifted. Go to the next one.
What easy talking about?
I'm not gonna leave a Battle Buddy. Go to the next comment. Yeah, as a veteran, I would never leave my battle buddy while we on Marches of Walk. But I am not sitting here holding his fucking hand. I'm not going to carry his fucking pack. I'm going to push him to finish the fucking march along with every fucking body else. That's what I'm going to do. We set standards. And everybody needs to rise to the fucking standard. When people can't rise to the standard, what do? They're dropped. We don't carry dead weight because everybody has a fucking standard. We don't go, well, Finding My Oasis couldn't do it, so we're gonna just let him go ahead and not carry his pack. We'll carry it for him. We don't do that. Come on, that's all I'm saying. I'm not being no nonsense. I'm just sitting there saying it's like, come on, you're giving an example of if somebody can't carry their pack, I'll carry it for you and it's okay. That's not fucking okay. As a veteran, it's not okay.
Yeah,
we tell them no. You got to pull your fucking weight. Everybody got a job to do.
That's true.
No matter how hard it is.
Yep.
That's what we say. So what am I saying? Or y'all just want to be disagreeable just to be disagreeable? Because that's what it's starting to sound like to me.
But you know what? This goes back to what as much as men like to say that women are combative and whatever the case may be, and I'm not saying we can't be, but as far as the disagreeability, Jordan Peterson, right? He's very masculine psychologist, whatever, and he talks about how high the disagreeability rate is in men as compared to women. It's not even close. A lot of them be disagreeable just to be disagreeable.
Just to be, for no other reason. So that's all I'm saying is, again, I'm not saying I'm all right, but I'm just sitting there saying is, I didn't say it was the only factor. I'm just sitting there saying is, y'all are going from one extreme to the other. So if I'm over here, then y'all going all the way over here. Men must uplift other men. I'm like, in the military, that's not a thing. We set standards. People are expected to meet the standard. That's what it is. We make women meet the standard. Men don't uplift women in the military. A standard is set. Everybody meet the fucking standard, or else it's called up or out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all. That was the only thing that I pointed out. If you got a female that can't carry her pack on a ruck march, and she gets ample opportunity, she's got to go. She failed the test. The end. I'm sorry. You don't go, oh, well, she shouldn't have to pass it. Fuck no. That's not the way it works.
Hey,
Y'all
Mariah,
know that.
y'all know I got to take my medicine. So, Mariah, tell everybody what you got coming up in the future.
Oh yeah, certainly. So what I have coming up in the future, of course, for those of y'all who don't know, I'm still offering my Spanish classes. You can find it under mariahsiciertravels.com, or if you go to my channel, you can find the link to my website in the description box, as well as I help people. I do relocation consultation. What I'm going to do after this live, if y'all don't mind, I'm going to head to my channel, like within 10 minutes after I get off of here, and I'm actually going to react to this panel that we did. So if y'all want to go over there, I'm about to put it up. I'm about to post it up right now. I'm just making the thumbnail.
This is her YouTube channel right here. Subscribe to Mariah.
Don't talk no shit about me, because I won't be over there, but I will watch it and review it. Don't be talking no shit about me, because you know I've been over here simping for you for the last couple of hours.
Of course, I'm not gonna talk shit about y'all. Hey, Prez. No. We just.
Oh, sorry.
No. I'm not gonna talk. No, y'all know. If I had an issue, I would have said it to y'all on the panel. But no, I think y'all did a really good job, and I feel like I was treated very fairly over here. So no problem over here.
Yep. Hey, I'm going to bed, y'all. Rico, brother, great job. We had 110 people on at one time, and I know it's going to be thousands to watch it after. So, hey, Mariah, thank you so much for coming up, and we had a wonderful time. Everybody go over to Mariah. Here it is one more time before I go down. Everybody go, make sure you subscribe to her channel, and we're going over to your channel right now, sister.
Okay. All right. I will see y'all there.
All right. Bye-bye. Rico, thanks, brother.
Bye-bye.